What's up? Don't get up. All right, so I'll give praise, esteem, and honor to the Alahym in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. Go to John chapter 5 and verse 39. So search the scriptures, for in them you have eternal life, and there they will testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Alahym in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. But another shall come in his own name, here you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Alahym only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, of whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? So, praise be to Yahuwah. Let's hit this Psalm 51:6, though. Shalom, man. Muffin man. Can you throw this away from me, sir? Oh, you'll do it, Joe? Don't. Hey, it's not a competition. Shalom, man. Behold, you desire truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part you shall make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which you have broken may rejoice. Hide your face from my sins, and blot out all my iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O Alahym, and renew a right ruach within me. So, let's deal with create off top. Of course, this is bara, create, shape, form. To shape, fashion, and create always with Alahym as the subject. Bat, Rosh, and Aleph. And you can proceed. Bat, Rosh, and Aleph. Bara. This is to create, shape, and form. This here was rated Fragrance of the Year for 2021.
What it is?
Mm-hmm.
What it is?
Plum and cognac.
That ain't plum and cognac. I thought you said the other one was plum and cognac.
No, that's plum and cognac right there.
Oh, yeah, that's him. I thought that was dark chocolate.
This is dark chocolate.
Oh, okay.
It is dark.
That's Serenade.
Yeah, plum and cognac. Yeah.
Shalom's wrong. That's cinnamon, plum, cognac, vetiver.
That's nice.
That come from Japan.
Isn't that nice?
And you can make the bottle any way you want. Pick your color and your top.
I say the thoughts of the Father and the Son.
Thoughts of the Father is in the Son. Anybody else with the Bat, Rosh, and Olive? Yeah, that's my man. Bow tie fragrance guy.
He local? That's the group?
No. Bow tie. Novitus Parfums is a niche house, but they partnered up with him. He put out 2 fragrances. I done with 240.
Oh, that's a lifetime.
This one?
I pre-ordered that, so I got that for $130. They had a discount going on. That John regular is $195. The strength of the Father is the Son. Okay.
Yeah,
Anybody else? Michael, Monica,
cut that.
Khaled. You sitting over there looking like somebody that stole from you. Somebody took your last piece of candy, Khaled, because that's how you look. Like I really wanted that Starburst. That nigga took it. It was the pink one too. Left me all yellow.
Pink bottle is the best one.
We can roll with the strength of the Father is the Son. Meaning what? What is the strength of the Father is the Son mean according to the text? Don't turn your head. So you be looking like that because you hang with that fruity boy. They said the strength of the Father is the Son for Bat, Rosh, and Olive. So according to the text, where would that take us to? Anybody can chime in, but just seeing if you know.
Trusting you is everlasting strength.
The sentence we got here for that bara, which is create, is Bat, Rosh, and Aleph, and we have the strength of the Father is the Son. So according to the word, where could you go to find a justification for that? What you shaking your head for? Because you know that boy Fruity, you know him. You seen that nigga before. And the first thing you thought about was a fruit salad. I might not be. I'm just messing with you. I admit it though.
He ain't tell no lie.
Because I said it last week. Look at you. Yeah, you know a simple player when you see me.
Undercover.
That nigga in the choir like this here.
He ain't even no undercover, brother.
I ain't seen him, but I just, just his stories, but the trust in Yahuwah is everlasting.
Y'all ain't got an idea. Come over here to Genesis 49. Just real quick, like we get on out of here 49-3. Ain't that right, boy? He know. You know, don't you? Look at him. He know. See, he don't want this here. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, but watch him.
I'm straight. He's cricket.
You're gonna walk up, all your suppositories gonna be gone.
No, boy, he ain't right.
Shoot, that nigga ain't right. 49-3. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. So if you're going to create in him a clean heart, then what does that mean? That you're going to have to be created in the image of the firstborn. Let's establish that Yahushua is the firstborn. Just bear with me in the remedial aspects of what we're talking about. Revelation 3:14. Then I'm going to add on to something we talked about last week because it came to mind when I was showing a little muffin son this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there with it. Shoot, might throw it in there now. Revelation 3:14 says this. And unto the Alahym of the house of the Laodiceans, right? These things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of Alahym, which is the first, which is the excellency of his strength. Now we need to take a look at Romans chapter 8, if I'm not mistaken. We pick it up at verse 28. You know, I seen him, Tebow, try to use this verse 28 for him getting cut. That's why people need to take people like that and slap them with the same spike cleats that they play football in for telling lies on this man. No, he put Romans 8:28 in his statement after he got cut. That man word ain't talking about that, you funky bastard, you. I don't care how good you think you is and this, that, there, and the third. That's what's wrong with people. Nigga mentioned a scripture or two. He got to be righteous. This is what he mentioned, right? Romans 8:28. He said, we know that all things work together for good to them that love Alahym and to them who are called according to his purpose. See, that's the part he left out, his purpose. His purpose was never for you to run up and down no football field.
That's what he's saying.
That's what my homeboy said, how the Jaguars go cut him. They hating on him because he a Christian. These people don't give a damn about that. That boy ain't winning no souls. They want that boy to promote as much idolatry as possible. That man went to getting on one knee and get what everybody else went to doing. They called it T-born, the disrespect. You just bow on the knee. That ain't got nothing to do with the Lord. Then you praying in front of people, so he got his reward. That go against the word. You score a touchdown. Let me bow on my knee and pray like the Lord like this. Woo, boy, you seen that boy hit that? You got a 30. Boy, that brought a steen to my name on that one, boy. Bless him and
Can't even get it out.
Can't even get it out. Cut Tebow and the then I got Hebrew niggas, but y'all don't know what's going on. The Taliban over there, niggas say, man, so what? He said, what we gonna be able to do about it? See, ain't faith without works is dead, brother. You put it, man, them people ain't bothering me, man. Man, if them people want to worship their moon god, let them worship their moon god. Y'all around here trying to cape and save some hoes all the way across the world. Them women ain't mad. They like serving Allah. They like wearing their burqa. They don't complain like you hoes. See, you want liberated hoe. They don't want no liberated hoe. When I say liberated hoes, I mean that in a literal sense. You want the ability for them to hold like you hold. And them men ain't with that. That's the difference between overseas. See, men over here let y'all get away with it. Men over there ain't with it. They don't want that over there. They don't want a woman walk around here and they can see titty sweat. You know what I'm saying? Your birth canal. You know what I'm talking about? Booty cheeks jiggling. They want to see that at the house. At least when they go to the whole house. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because they got all that stuff over there, but they don't want to see that walking down the street. Like, you know, in some countries over there, y'all can't drive a car. Some countries over there, you can't go outside without male supervision. I done told y'all that before. All that girls trip traveling the world unsupervised, that's a new thing. Keep the whoredom down. Because like I told y'all before, we know what happened on them girls trips, and it ain't no trip. It's tripping all right. Tripping on somebody meat. Getting around there getting banged up by Raul when you go to Colombia. You know what I'm talking about? Raul. You the dog. Go over there to Jamaica, you get hit up by a Jamaican nigga named Carlos. Nigga say, how you get a name like that? And y'all come back home, act like ain't nothing happened. This man done did all type of ungodly things with you. And y'all be sitting there thinking like this here, oh, we just going to take pictures and hang out. Mm-hmm. We know it. And guess what? Your favorite bulldog exposed everything that going on when they made that movie Girls Trip. Let every young man know that this is what happened. They go over there and they get slutty. To get slutty. You know what happened. Whole bunch. Come on, man. You talking about 3-4 women ain't got no man or got a man they don't want. And they all here, all they posting their pictures in drawers, half naked in another country. And you think she ain't finna try some exotic meat she ain't never seen before? Come on, man. Shalom, Brother Craig. You have to stop trying, young man, like that, like they crazy. Because y'all know y'all can go in there, go in this exotic club and see that nigga, girl, that nigga look good. I'm going to take him back to the room. Ain't nobody going to know. Ain't nobody going to know. All y'all done, I ain't going to say all y'all. Probably most of y'all. Most of y'all done had sex with somebody that y'all ain't tell nobody about. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody know. You be like, oh, you slept with him? Oh, I ain't even know, girl. Sure did. Kept it to yourself. They don't mean it's a negative thing. You just kept it to yourself. Yeah, and y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all like to say you just kept it to yourself. You might have been trash. You ain't want nobody to know. So that's right there. You said, "Show Liz, I'm gonna take that nigga name with me to the grave." Look how you look. Look like you. Don't look at me. Yeah, we know what happens out here on these streets, man. What'd you say?
Absolutely not.
All I'm saying, I ain't saying you sleeping around. I'm saying that majority of women got one dude, somebody that done slept with, and you ain't tell your homegirl you slept with her, because you know you tell your friends everything. You know what I'm saying? And most women got one dude she laid with, and she kept that to herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about that. That didn't happen.
I wish it didn't.
I wish it didn't happen.
He told me when I was drunk.
Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of women do that. You got women who say if it was with a condom, it don't count. You saying all right? Shoot. Well, that's how a lot of these girls living out here. They say if it was with a condom, it don't count. They say they only count the raw ones. Romans 8:29.
My uncle tried to play that.
Woo! Listen here, man. I'm out of here on that. Woohoo! That's what Jesse. Why you around here trying to teach me to be slut maker? Don't do that. Romans 8:29. He say, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. So what are you looking at? You're looking at a man who was already shaped and fashioned in the image of his father, and therefore everyone who is born of him is going to be conformed or shaped in his image, or to be in the strength of the father is the son. The only way, and then that goes back to what we were talking about last night. What was the strength of Isaac? Who was the strength of Isaac? Who is the strength of Isaac? No. Strength of Isaac would be Esau. Esau was the firstborn. Now, what Yahuwah told Rachel, that's a different matter. Because he said, who gonna serve who? The elder gonna serve the younger. But the elder is his strength. That's his firstborn. Why you think he was so hyped to give him the blessing? Who did Isaac go tell to prepare the kids to get ready for to get his blessing? Who he told to do it? He told Esau to do it. Firstborn son is always the man's strength. I just was talking to the brother about that. I was telling him what's up, boy?
I was thinking he wanted his junk because he despised it.
I was telling the brother this earlier, like,
He's still the first.
Yeah.
if I had 3 daughters and 1 son, my daughters ain't getting nothing. Like if I had like 3, 4, 5 girls and 1 son, my daughters ain't getting nothing. Absolutely nothing. For what? She gonna have a husband. We gonna give her to a producer. But see, y'all don't know that because that is the way of the East. See, the way of the West is give this person son, give this person son, give this person son. In the East, where we come from, sons are the only ones who inherit. That's the only ones who inherit. That's how y'all familiar with the law and numbers. If you don't have a son, y'all know what I'm talking about? Oh, y'all know what I'm talking about. What that is? Number 37.
Hey, go upstairs.
But you so phony, boy.
Go upstairs.
That's what the black belt.
You ain't kicking nothing.
Look at you. You faking. Now you ought to come over here so I can punch you in your nose. Hey, man, you're messing up the collar of your shirt. Numbers 36, actually.
Fake. Screen that skill.
Yeah, still on the floor.
Yellow chair right there.
Like, you have to remember this here, right? Revelation 21:6. Somebody go find it and tell me what it says. It might be 8. But we'll see. Could be 7. This one way in there. 6, 7, 8. That's right, sir. We finna read it. This one of them. Verses 6, 7, 8. Just look at the one that's talking about what we're talking about, and that's the one. Yeah, why would a man give an inheritance to a woman who gonna go take it and give it to another man? Because that's what she gonna go do. She gonna take that and get that to her husband. So what I'm gonna give her that for? That's why the book tell you I'll read the Proverbs 5 for you. If you a man and he tell you don't marry a woman who's not of your people because you're gonna give your stuff to somebody else. Why would you give your inheritance to a stranger? That's what it takes.
You said Numbers 36?
No. Who found Revelation 21:8? You found it? Yeah, but I want them to see it for themselves. Y'all looking like y'all ain't found it. You found what I'm talking about? What did it say then? Okay, I'm just making sure. You ain't got to say the rest. He said, he that overcometh, he shall be my son. I'll be his Alahym, and he'll do what? Inherit all things. Sons are the ones who inherit. Firstborn son specifically. Firstborn son supposed to get everything. The best of what you get, that's the excellency of your strength. That's the excellency of your might. All that. He get all that. That don't mean you don't bust nothing up for the rest of them. But if it's you know what I'm talking about? Because guess what? What did Esau say? Ain't a blessing to me. He say, shoot, I ain't got nothing for you. He said, come on, pop, please. He said, I'll pop y'all. I'll pop y'all. Ain't no big deal. I'll pop y'all. See, that joint hard because you ain't used to that. I'm telling you right now, boy, I can have 6 daughters and on the 7th have a son and he get everything. I'm talking about I can have $101 million and they don't even get the one. That boy get it all. He can do with it as he will. Shoot, play with it. Shoot, I'm gonna make sure they get married to producers. What you need my money for? What if that nigga turn out to be I'd rather my own son piss off my inheritance than some nigga I don't know.
Big fan.
That's right.
Solomon told you that. You don't know if you're going to leave it behind to a wise man or a fool. I read that to you too. So guess what? I'd rather leave that to my own son than to leave it to another nigga. No disrespect to your husband, baby. That's what I'm saying. No disrespect to your husband. Yeah, I know I picked it. But that nigga ain't come from these loins, boy. I'm going to leave that to my boy. He can do with it what he will. I say, son, you want to hit your sisters off with a couple $100 million? You know what I'm saying? That's your business. Son, I hope you don't mess my money up. I'm Because in the day of resurrection, I come out behind it, you owe me a favor. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go around the back. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to tighten you on up. You know what I'm saying? And we go sit with the Lord, but you owe me a favor. You're going to piss off my inheritance, boy. But if you ain't got no daughter or son, you supposed to hit your daughters off. You know what I'm saying? Because see, they came to Moses and asked this, and Yahuwah said, we couldn't read it. You said right. But see, there's a thing. There's a caveat to go with it. Here we go. Numbers 36:1. The chief of fathers of the families of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, the families of the son of Joseph, came near and spake before Moses and before princes, the chief fathers of the sons of Yasharal. And they say, Yahuwah commanded my Lord to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the sons of Yasharal. My Lord was commanded by Yahuwah to give an inheritance to Lezoaphat, our brother, unto his daughters. And if they be married to any of the sons of other tribes of the sons of Yasharal, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put into the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance. That's why I said what I said. You get that to your daughters, that goes to their husbands. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to know that. See, that's something you don't look at because you think it's mine. No, it's not yours. That's a new age way of thinking. You don't have anything. Whatever you have is your husband's. You know what I'm saying? Most of us don't have that level of understanding, because I was just talking with my mans about that. That is correct, sir. Tribes keep the portion that he gives unto them. Whatever Yahuwah gives as far as the land is concerned, that belongs to that particular family. That's why I mentioned that part about the landmark last night. You can't take nobody's property in the Commonwealth of Yasharal. That cannot happen. You can voluntarily sell it. You can voluntarily leave it to another person. But no one can come take your land. Yahuwah does not operate in that fashion. Whatever you built on your land, whatever you planted on your land, that belongs to you and your house. When I'm talking about your house, the house of the man of that family. That belongs to him. See, what most women don't understand is, because of this society that we live in, you look at the things that you have and you bring with you, that's yours, and then, but what he got is yours. Also, no, you could have came with $100 million, and that $100 million is now effectively his. And he can dictate it and mandate it and move it however he see fit to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that bothers a lot. I did all that, but you don't have a problem when it's the reverse, when that man did all that to accumulate that wealth, but it's going to benefit you. But you don't want yours to benefit him. No, that's just unjust balance. That just ain't right. But that's what they had a problem with. The men had a problem with. So you mean to tell me that my lot is going to go to another tribe? The reason why they're concerned about that, because when that happens, that means that tribe or that house is blotted out, as if it doesn't exist. All right, let's continue. Say, when the jubilee of the sons of Yasharal shall be, then shall their inheritance be put unto the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers. Moses commanded the sons of Yasharal, according to the word of Yahuwah, saying, the tribes of the sons of Joseph have said, well, this thing which you have done, do command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, let them marry to whom they think best. Only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry. They can only marry within the tribe of Joseph, not the tribe of their literal father's bloodline. They can only marry within the tribe of Joseph. So what does this mean? If you died without a son and there was no one to inherit but the daughter can only marry somebody of that house. Can you see how that relates to the gospel, or do I need to expand further? So basically what happens is, let's put it this way. Say you had no son. You are the tribe of Joseph. Abigail is the only child you have. Let's say Michael here is the tribe of Joseph. She can only marry that way. Say if she would have married Bird, and Bird is a Benjamin, that your land now goes to Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? So to keep it in the tribe, she got to marry somebody from the house of Joseph.
Then I pretty much be giving my stuff to what she married.
But it would still remain within the house of Joseph.
So he would have to be from the house of Joseph.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Say he from the house of Joseph. He's from the house of Joseph. Because that's what it's looking at. Not the family per se as his direct family. but the house of Joseph, because each tribe is given a lot of land by inheritance, sectioned up by 12. Joseph's here, Judah's here. You know what I'm saying? Where Jerusalem is, that's Judah's portion, all up and through there. You know what I'm talking about? So you imagine, because I'm going to get to that, that's how it pertains to the gospel. Jerusalem, when Yahushua died, Yasharal is the daughter, because when we talk about that with Abraham and Sarah, and they died with no heir. You know what I'm saying? So when he resurrected from the dead, it's what allows her to be married to another. She married someone from the tribe of Yehuda, and that inheritance stays where it's supposed to be. I'm trying to find what I was looking for. That whom they think best. Let's look at that. Let's see what it says. When you see whom they think best, you have ayin, so that to whom they think is of course, whom they see. But see, now they got the best part. That junk all over the place. I don't even think they had a word for best on it. And they don't. Let's continue. Numbers 37 and 7. So shall not the inheritance of the sons of Yasharal remove from tribe to tribe. For every one of the sons of Yasharal shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribes of his fathers. Every daughter that possesseth inheritance in the tribe of the sons of Yasharal shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the sons of Yasharal may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers. Neither shall the inheritance remove from one tribe to another tribe, but every one of the tribes of the sons of Yasharal shall keep himself to his own inheritance. Now, this is pertaining strictly to land. So I just want y'all to understand that. This is pertaining strictly to land, nothing else. Strictly land. So when he say from one tribe to another, again, that way Benjamin is not taking Asher's land, and Asher's not taking Naphtali's land, and Naphtali is not taking Reuben's land, and Reuben is not taking Simeon's land.
But that's why you want to give a woman an inheritance, period. Because the land always gets jumbled up.
Exactly. And that's why I said that she would have to marry someone of her own. That's where Brews come in at and say you can't marry nobody but in your own tribe. Well, that's where they get that misconstrued. The reason why that was the case, it was for the land, and it was mainly for the women. You know what I'm saying? That way, land stay where it's supposed to stay. It said, even as Yahuwah commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zelophehad. Malah, Tizrah, Hoglah, Melchah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married unto their father's brothers' sons. And they were married to the families of the son of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, and inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their father. These are the commandments and the judgments which Yahuwah commanded by the hand of Moses unto the sons of Yasharal in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. So if they married their father's brother's sons, who did they marry?
Their cousin?
They married their cousins. The same way that that is what Jacob did. He married his cousin. That is a common practice overseas. It's frowned upon over this way. You're not considered a direct relative when you are a cousin. That's why when you have something that's dealing with family emergencies, cousins are not listed. When they consider direct family, they only consider your parents and your spouse, possibly a sibling. Yeah, they don't consider cousins to be, that's not considered a close family relative. The reason why it's not considered I'm going to explain to you why it's not. The reason why it's not considered that is because you have brought in another person who is not of your DNA stock.
It's a different male seed.
Yeah, and he's talking about, I'm talking about his father. No, he's talking about the woman. The seed is the same. The woman is different. Because remember it said her father's brother's sons.
Oh, I was looking at the other way around. I was looking at like me and her, like we all got the same. We got the same.
And remember the same way when Abraham said Sarah was his sister, was the first thing he let that be known. He said, that's the daughter of my mother, not my daddy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Your cousins on your mama's side don't got the same seed.
But that's it. But that's not the mother side they mentioned.
I know. I was thinking about that.
Yeah. What you
Sit,
say?
sit, sit. Sit. Paul, sit down, Paul. Sit.
We cousins on our mama's side. It's not the same male seed at all.
Yeah, that means
That's the point. That was my point. That's definitely.
Yeah, that's different on the mother side. Either way it goes, there is another set of genetic stock that is not the same. So that's why you're not considered, cousins are not considered direct relatives. And that's why in other cultures, that's why they marry cousins.
That's close, though. That's real close, though. Especially when you talking about brother skills.
Hey, I mean, at the end of the day, shoot,
It ain't the same mama, though. Right?
you know, Rachel and Leah was definitely Jacob's cousins. And if I'm not mistaken, his first cousins. Come over here to Proverbs chapter 5.
On the mama side. That was the mama side.
5 and 7. That's where he was specifically son to Laban.
That's what I was saying. That was the mama side. That was great. That was Rebecca's brother, not Isaac's brother.
Yeah, I mean that was done regularly. I mean that's what people did, but they did that to keep stuff in the family, not just in the family of the father, but in the family. Period.
Yeah. That's right though.
See, that's that new stuff where you just marry anybody if you have something. See, you gotta understand, right? I ain't telling you to go run out and marry your cousins, nothing like this here, but I'm just letting you know though.
You ain't wrong.
She's somebody.
Yes, you did. Well, go, hi. So is that your cousin?
I ain't gonna lie, she just said that earlier. She's like, you cousins.
Oh, so you a kissing cousin? Now she like this. See, I feel dirty. It's too late now.
She makes it with mama.
It's too late. No, it basically go like this here, right? Poor people usually marry whoever they can marry. When you deal with people who have wealth, assets, and inheritance, they're very strategic about who they marry. That's definitely known throughout the British royal family that they intermarried all through their family. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want any outsider coming in touching their wealth. That's probably why the niggas ugly like that. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless.
Ugly wealth. Ugly back to
Keep it ugly.
That nigga said, keep it ugly, keep it well.
You see Trump?
Trump Tower. You can't just walk in this tower.
I'm saying, man, I'm just sitting and taking because when you deal with people who have means, this is why part of the reason why, along with the stranger turning your heart from Yahuwah, which we about to read, that he didn't want you marrying no strangers. Because now you finna take your wealth, you finna get it to somebody else. Y'all done listen to Wu-Tang, so y'all don't know. Them niggas said it on the song years ago. Ghostface, that boy told you. He said, my seed, marry his seed, and that's how we keep Wu-Tang money all up in the family. Now, them niggas weren't necessarily related, but them niggas like, nigga, we close, nigga, all our children are to marry each other. That way the money stay within us. It don't go to no outside. I put it to you this way. Y'all know Heinz Ketchup? Yeah, you know the lady. She was married to the man who owned Heinz Ketchup, and then he died. And you know who that funky hoe married after that? You know it. What'd you say? But they got Heinz mustard, baby. You trying to say what's the other company? No, I'm saying there's a lady. She owns the Heinz Ketchup empire. She was married to the man whose last name was Heinz. It's a real person. But she married somebody else. And you know who she married. You done seen him before. He ran for president. He didn't win, though.
Not Biden.
I wasn't Al Gore. But you in the right party. That was John Kerry. Now you done let an outside nigga come in and touch this man well. I think he's still married to that lady to this day. You know what I'm saying? Because that's ends up happening. I give you another example. That's right. I give you another example. William Clay Ford. Do y'all know who that is?
That's the dude that ain't the dude that owns
He
Ford.
owned the Detroit Lions. He dead now. He is a direct descendant of Henry Ford. And guess who run the Detroit Lions now? His wife. And she a good old woman. So when she died, ain't no telling who that gonna get left to. Yeah, you do. Yeah, the same thing. And she sold it.
Yeah, that's what
And she sold it.
the dude for the Lakers in his
Jerry Buss died, left it to his sons. All his sons were idiots.
Yeah.
So guess who run the company now? His daughter. And guess what a daughter is? An aging whore. An aging whore. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to think of another friend. The Bears are the same way. The dude who started the Bears was a man by the name of George Hallis, and one way or another ended up in the hands of a lady named Virginia McCaskey, somebody's wife. Yeah, he got a son. And get what he did with his son. Go start your wrestling company, boy. Oh, that's his daughter. That means he ain't had no son. How your daughter end up with a different name? Because she done took his wealth and gave it to another man.
Yeah, she did though, because you gave it to your daughter. She done gave it to the nigga being a dad. That's wrong.
That she old, but what I'm saying, my point is, now that wealth done went to another man. That's why these people intermarried like that. Just like you look at Jerry Jones, his son, help him run the Cowboy, because you got to see who you gonna get this to. That's why they look at, let's say, with the WWE, they like, who is he going to, they just automatically assume that he was going to give it to Triple H. Well, guess what? That's your daughter's husband. Yeah. And he got a son. And his son, like, I don't want nothing to do with it or daddy. And see, this is the thing I was telling y'all too, like when they were talking about Dr. Dre. Contrary to popular belief, rich people don't leave stuff to their children. You done did something, like, man, I'm not leaving that nigga nothing. I'm not leaving him nothing. They write their kids out the will all the time. Shoot. Yahuwah wrote us out the will. Wrote you right out of there. Oh, you don't want to do what I say? Get you out of here. Got nothing for you, boy. Proverbs chapter 5, verse 7.
That's a right and true.
Got nothing for you, boy. He say, hear me now, therefore, O you sons, depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove your way far from her. Come not near the door of her house, lest you give your honor unto others and your years unto the cruel. Let strangers be filled with your wealth and your labors be in the house of a stranger. Don't let it be in the house of a stranger now, baby. See, that's a hard one there. And guess who this is? This your daddy telling you this here. This Solomon telling his son, don't you give your time to the cruel. That means terrible. This is what he said, and you mourn at the last when your flesh and your body are consumed. So let's pause. Gospel-wise, I'll give it to you briefly and we will move on. He's saying, remove your way far from her. Don't come near the door of her house. Yahushua came near the door of her house. Came right into Jerusalem. He gave his honor unto another. How did he do that? How did Yahushua give his honor unto another? Or did he? You want to go? They say you know how to do karate. You want to go? Well, come on, it's go time. No, you're going to do it right here.
One person's shoes.
Oh, you a man of distinction? You a man of honor? Yes, sir. But did he give his honor to another? Yes, he did. Let's look and see how he did. John 14, I believe. Saran hit the nail on the head. Hold on. John 14, we can pick it up at verse 9. You a yellow belt, boy? What belt you got? I said, what belt you got? Yellow? You're a prize fighter, so you get paid to fight. Where my money at? You need to get it. But you better go in there and get it. Because I want my money. Oh, okay. John 14:9. Yahushua said unto them, have I been so long time with you, and you have not known me, Philip? He that have seen me, seen Abba. How say you then, show us Abba? Believe you not that I am in Abba, and Abba in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but Abba that dwell in me, both do the works. Believe me that I am in Abba, and Abba in me, or else believe me for the work's sake. Truly, truly, I say unto you, he that believe on me, the works that I do, he do also. Greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Abba. What is the honor that he had? What is the honor that Yahushua had specifically that no one else had? That is he was the son of Alahym. That is an honor. Y'all don't understand something, right? Because we don't live in that type of society that pushes that. For a man to have a son on the first go round is an honor. That's an honor from a book. You got to understand something, right? There's men in the text didn't have no daughter, had no son. See, we so far removed from it that you don't. And again, I've talked to y'all about this before. Why is it such an honor to have a son? Not just for the seed part. I want you to think practically, outside of the word. Why is it such an honor to have a son? No, I said practically. That's outside of that. Just practical application. We didn't talk about this before. Not even that. There are more women on the earth than men. So that means more girls are birthed. That means technically it is a rare occasion to have a son than it is to have a daughter. Because I think what's the rate? What it is, maybe 5 to 7 women for every man worldwide, a son of that sort. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the exact number, so don't quote me that. No, it's not, because I know in Atlanta it's 8 to 1. Yeah. For every one man, it's 8 women. It's definitely extremely. If every woman on the earth, man on the earth was married, it'd still be 3 to 4 women ain't got no man. Per man. I think you can see that in here now. There's probably more girls in here than boys right now.
I believe you kept
yeah, because you got a 2 to 1. You got 4 and 2. That's 2 to 1 ratio. I don't know how accurate that is either, because you go through the whole earth. You definitely see that there is more women than men.
What is it?
It said it was more men on the earth than women.
The sex ratio for the entire world population is 1 man to 100 females. 1 man to females.
Yeah, I would have said 100 million men.
I looked at the birth thing at the hospital. That was just at the hospital. They were born in what's we call it, St. Vincent's. So it definitely was twice as many girls born than it was boys.
Yeah, and of course we didn't have that conversation before. Do y'all remember why there needs to be more women than men? Y'all don't recall?
With the world with it?
No, y'all don't recall? Because y'all have a shelf life for reproduction.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you're right.
You have a shelf life for reproduction. You only have about a 20 to 30 year window to reproduce.
And the nigga gotta keep going.
Yeah, men can reproduce for the entire. When I say 20 to 30 year window, because we really don't want to count that you have an intercourse in your teens. So you have a period from probably say if you got married at 20 to about 45 to produce children. A man can produce children the minute that he begins to produce sperm, and he can produce children to the day that he dies. Usually between the ages of 11 and 14. And I only say 11 because this world has had because of the hormonal messing with other food. I couldn't think of a better word at the moment. That has caused people's puberty cycle to accelerate.
For sure, I was reading, especially in the East period, when the daughter had that first period, she was already gonna get shipped off.
Yeah, they already looking for her husband if they ain't already found him. But the time is, but you looking at now versus then. Then they weren't having cycles at 14 years old, 13, 10 years old. They were more likely hitting a cycle closer to what would be considered of age. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of accelerated things going on here. But you got little girls hitting periods at 9, 10 years old. That is abnormal. Yeah, that is abnormal. That's not the norm. Usually girls hit it about 14 or 15. I don't quote me on this, but I believe in ancient times it was what would be between 16 and 18. So by the time they hit their cycle, they're now prepared to, we're going to marry you and get you out of this house. See, we think about it in our times, because most of y'all, I got my period at 14. What grown man want a 14-year-old girl? That's not what went on back then. Y'all, no, they had real food. Yeah, because they were a little older.
That's what they were writing about, though. It ain't nothing like that in the text, but it was just giving you more detail like in the text. Once you did have your period, which was, like you said, usually later, 16 to 18, you could get married. Because you get married to have a child. If you can have a child, shoot.
Why are you here?
You can have sex.
Yeah, you can get out.
Yeah.
You get taken care of.
Yeah, you can get taken care of.
The king's man.
Well, that was in a lot of states, mainly in the South. Those laws are still on the books in most states.
That's why I kill him.
That's what R. Kelly was saying.
Yeah.
They ready.
But you know, he was married though.
Yeah, they consider you grown. But I say we can't look at ancient times and match them with now.
What you going to get in the bed?
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do, and it's understandable. You didn't live then. Like I say, you can't quote me on that. But there was you don't have the environmental mingling with food that causes the acceleration in development. You know what I'm saying? Those people weren't hitting puberty in ancient times at no 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? You got little girls now, they sprouting breasts at 10. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff, so it throws that off. Yeah, Sean said he think his grandma got married around 14 to 16. But also another reason why they got married so young, and then we'll just move on, is that was to cut down whoredom.
Yeah.
If she married, she ain't got a chance to throw no coochie around.
Yeah. And if she getting a period at 14, 15, I mean.
That monkey get hot. Y'all know. All y'all was in high school. Tossing monkey.
We got something for that.
Ain't none of y'all, how many of y'all got out of high school unsullied, if you would? Huh? You ain't get out of no high school unsullied.
You happy with that sword you got?
You ain't get about it. So you ain't had no sexual encounters, no titty rubbing.
You get the experience.
Mm-hmm. Somebody, you felt like that, but you snuck a nigga in. I'm trying to catch and see if you're telling me a story.
You want to stand in guard.
She lived in a different time. That don't count.
When I wake up, niggas in there. Shit. You go get your man.
That nigga got you for your stuff.
I'm in my room.
You don't count, Mom.
I'm standing in my room.
Good job, though.
I'm only standing for me.
How that count, y'all? That's not
You let
modern
him in.
time.
He ain't taking it.
You said who was?
You waking up.
I know full well. You know that was different back then.
You get that?
Oh, it was drastically different. Not like they do now. If you went to school back then, if it was 100 girls, maybe 10 of them were really, really getting off. The rest of them were getting up out of there with their hymen intact. These hoes already been punched in the 8th grade.
Oh.
That just shows you how that's the man's fault, bro. You supposed to already know that you're supposed to be at that age. You supposed to be standing guard.
Your daddy see y'all daddies ain't ring y'all in. They like to say, hey baby.
That's what you put
All right. Guess that. If you a man, you paying attention. You know if your daughter done got some penis, she act different, she move different, talk different.
Start selling yourself.
Go to feeling yourself. Don't let her like it. It's all the
On the dark skin.
Say don't let her like the sexual experience. Cause your daddy a lame.
That's right.
Nigga, shoot themselves in the foot. His daughter is a lame. If your daughter got hit, you a lame.
Let me tell you something, right? Also, if you done had sex with a woman, you can tell if a woman is having sex with somebody. They move different, they talk different, and you'll be able to tell if she having sex with that man when she in her presence because their interaction is different. You know what I'm saying? If you paying attention. See, most dudes don't be paying attention. See, ain't nowhere in the world. My daughter ain't coming here no random nigga. Shoot, nigga, don't even call my house. Don't call my house after 4:30. So I guess you know what that means. Don't call it off. He ain't home here. Guess what? Ain't no daughter having no cell phone, making no random calls. Nigga, your phone logs get inspected. Nigga, it should be nobody but me and your mama calling here. Anything up in there. Random phone calls in here. Guess what? Eyeball swole. Because you're getting punched dead in your face. Ain't no holes in this house. Nigga, this ain't who? No, sir.
Listen to them city girls.
Yeah, you're going to be a city girl because you're going to be on the streets in the city. Girl, that's what's going to happen.
City girl. City walk. City walk.
Right down there them brews.
I just told my dog this here, man, who send my daughter off to college. We didn't have that lying at me. She going to college locally and staying to the house or online. Or your phone out, get up out of here. No, ma'am. Won't be coming around here talking about you been somebody's semen receptacle. That's not happening. That's not happening.
Go to your bed, Carl.
Who? Talking about send my daughter off. Send her off to be with some sinners?
Go.
Unsupervised?
Public housing?
Public housing? I sending no young girl off unsupervised. That's a recipe for slut. That's a recipe. I'm talking about that's a little bit of penis, a little bit of hoe. That's all you need. You send them off to college unsupervised. That's a recipe. I ain't saying nobody wrong. I'm just telling you, me, I wouldn't do it because we all know. Some of you brothers know. Y'all been on college campuses. Some of y'all been around there. Y'all know. Y'all know what go down. Some of y'all done been to the doggone sorority and fraternity parties. You know what happened. That girl came up there, a nice young woman, and left a freak hole.
You been in the service?
You
was married 5 times in the service.
Guess what? Ain't nobody to tell her. Don't you talk to that man. Guess what? Her whole friend, girl, he look good. Don't let him hit you in the bathroom. Look at you now. You got AIDS. You got herpes. Syphilis on the lip. The biggest promoter of whoredom is other women. Y'all encourage and egg women on to be hoes. You know what I'm saying? Now they be like, this here, girl, he like you, girl. You better go on and give him some. Be like, you done done it. You done egg one on. Somebody eggs you on. I'm just going by your life. I just going by the laugh. You already laughed, didn't you? That made me. That made me.
Why you keep pulling the shit?
No, I would. If you wouldn't laugh, I wouldn't have said that. I took the laugh. Hey, look at. We gonna move on.
Already coming up, trying to show yourself up. That's another lie.
Look here, right? Listen to me. I took the laugh as you were the egger and not the eggy.
Yeah.
You just said you might have egged.
Just a little bit. Just like y'all. Girl, you don't sit there. I'm not going to.
So you was the egger.
I might have.
Now you might have.
You can be the whole. You can be the whole, not me.
I want you to be the whole. You can hold fun.
You tell us how it was.
You can hold fun.
You the ambassador.
You like this here, girl. You better go get you some of that meat, girl. That's why this book tell you what it takes. That's why I tell you what it takes.
It's good.
That's why I tell you what it tell you. Look what he said, right? Look at verse 11. See that egg? This is what happened with verse 11. Well, first he said, right, this here, right? Lest you give your honor to another, your years to the cruel. He gave it to the cruel. The cruel is Yasharal. But check it, right? Let strangers be filled with your wealth. You should know how to who are the strangers? I mentioned it last night. Who are the strangers that are filled with your wealth? Y'all talk to me now. I told you last night, too. Ain't that right, Ruth? You over there eating whole food? I thought you was a baby. You ain't a baby no more. Just to let you know, wealth here is koach, which is strength, power, and might. So not actual wealth, strength, power, and might. Listen, right? He said, let strangers be filled with your strength. Who are the strangers? Well, I just mentioned it last night. I just read it last night. I promise I did. Huh? Who y'all think them strangers is? Boy, I promise I just read it last night. They done forgot already, Ruth. Lil Ruth. What you over there chewing on, Lil Ruth? Lil Ruth. You tired? You want to go lay down? Go lay down. Y'all don't know who the strangers is? Somebody talk to me. It's 11 y'all on here. Tell me. I mentioned it last night. Let me see who can put two and two together and make it clever. I'm trying to give people in the chat a chance to answer before I answer it.
Oh, you said to me.
Don't nobody on the chat want to roll the dice with me, man? That's what y'all telling me, man. I promise I just mentioned it last night.
Sit down.
Anybody? Come on, right? We have 57-18. I give you 58-30 in the chat. Because don't nobody in the room got to. The question is, he say, what they doing to you, man? What's she doing to you? What's she doing to you, cuz? The question is, he said, let strangers be filled with your wealth and your labors be in the house of a stranger. Who is the stranger? I just mentioned it last night. Labors here, of course, is asav, that is pain, sorrow, labor, and hardship. So when I tell you, let strangers be filled with your strength and your pain be in the house of a stranger. Who is the stranger? Who is the stranger? Can anybody tell me who the stranger is? The adversary? No, not on this one here. I'm almost at my time. I give you the 59. We have 58-30. I give y'all 30 more seconds. You say the 10 tribes? No, not the 10 tribes. Y'all got 15 seconds? What you talking about, Ruth? What you talking about, Ruth? What you talking about, Ruth? Come over here to Leviticus chapter 25. Pick it up at verse 23. Leviticus 25 and 23. What they doing to you, cuz? She won't let you be free? Say, Mom, I'm a man, let me live. Leviticus 25 and 23. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine. You are strangers and sojourners with me. So Yasharal is the stranger. See, he had the 10 tribes. I needed you to add all 12. Yasharal is the stranger. And guess what? How are you a stranger? Because he says his ear is not heavy that it cannot hear, nor is his arm shortened that it cannot save, but your sins have separated you from your Alahym. Because if you in sin, then guess what you would be to him? A stranger. You wouldn't be of his household. He that sanctified and he that are sanctified all are one, for which cause he's not ashamed to call them brethren. If you ain't sanctified, then you're a stranger. Because what did he say? Depart from me, you work of iniquity. I never knew you, which means you are a stranger. So when you're looking at don't let your labors or your pain, because remember, right, you're taking on the sufferings of who? So that means that now your pain or your hardship is in the house of a stranger. Why are you a stranger? Because you were estranged from Alahym. You did not know him. Now strangers are filled with your strength. How they filled with your strength? They're filled with the ruach HaKadosh, because trusting Yahuwah is everlasting strength. Trusting Yahuwah is how you obtain the ruach. So now you've given that to a stranger. Let's come back to Proverbs chapter 5. Because remember he said, and you mourn at the last, and your what? Flesh and body are consumed. Before we read that, well, that's after that, excuse me. So did he not mourn at the last? Was his flesh and body not consumed? Listen what he said. And he said, oh, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that have instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. Now, of course, we know he didn't hate instruction and despise reproof, but Yasharal did. That's why all that happened to him. This is still all going into how he can create in you a clean heart, because he had to go through all that suffering in order for your heart to be cleansed. Because remember what he told you in Hebrews 9. He said, if the sprinkling of ashes of a heifer makes something clean, how much more will the blood of Mashiach, who offered himself as a pure sacrifice to Alahym, purge your conscience from dead works? So you have to look at that. What did he say? How does the young man cleanse his way? By taking heed according to your word. He said, you're clean from the word that I have spoken unto you. So it's not the cleanliness of washing of the flesh, but the cleanliness of the purging of the heart. Because what did he tell you? It's not within outside of man that defile him, but what come out of him. What lodges within men? Evil eyes, blasphemy, lust, pride, lasciviousness, murder, lies. So you have to cleanse the heart. See, that's what a lot of individuals don't realize they don't want to do. Pause for a moment and come over here to Ezekiel 36. Hold Proverbs 5. Psalms 51 is where we at. Hello, Pot. Come here, Pot. (36) and 22. Are you studying upon your phone? Whose phone do you have? Oh. Renee, what are you doing? Something that you ought not to be doing. Renee, depart from the fish tank and sit down and pay attention. Muffin, I thought you were going to lay down. Oh, I said she wanted to lay down. That's why she left. Yeah, you can't go up there. She already acting dour. I don't care for it. Look it up.
Charles Dower.
Dour. You an educator. A teacher of young minds. They did give anybody teaching like
Right.
Shoot, the Florida Board of Education ain't right.
It's deeper than rap.
I give you the white folks definition all the way through. Dour means relentlessly severe, stern, or gloomy in manner or appearance. More so the gloomy. What's that? What? Oh. 36 and 24. Ezekiel. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all the countries, and I will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and you shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new ruach will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh, and I will put my ruach within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do. And you shall dwell in the land that I gave unto your fathers, and you shall be my people, and I will be your Alahym. I will save you from all your uncleanliness, and I will call for corn and increase it, and lay no famine upon you. So this is the key component. To create a clean heart, because remember, we started off with create. We have to start with that because you got to be fashioned in his image. In order to be fashioned with his image, your mind has to be changed. See, that's what happens for most people, is that your mind's not changed. So this is what most people get. This is what, like I told you before, people that ask me in the past. Well, is the flesh always going to be there? See, you more focus on the flesh than versus having the mind that could dominate the flesh. Having the mind that could dominate the flesh is having a mind filled with the word. Then after that, the flesh can rise, swell, and do whatever it wishes. But you have the mind to dominate it. See, I was telling the brother this earlier. Most people get upset with people who have accrued a lot of wealth. You know how most people accrued a lot of wealth? Because they have a particular mindset to go about and do the things that other people will not do. And the word is no different, because you're seeking the wealth of Alahym, and that means you have to have a mindset to do things that other people will not do. Regardless of what anybody want to think, to incur any amount of success in anything in life, it takes a particular mindset to do things that others will not. And that's what people just want to do. Like I said, right? I've never looked at anybody in my entire life, whether we were hustling, legal stuff, and looked at them and felt like those people were better than me. What they ended up doing, and this is something that also that people don't do. Most black folks, unfortunately, because you're not taught, you don't leverage the people that you know to benefit you and others. See, that goes back when we were talking about, are you being useful? When you look at Mashiach, he was so useful. He was useful to everyone around him. Then his usefulness benefited those men, and those men could go out and benefit others. Therefore, you can leverage other people. And black people are taught to not do that, because that's using people. That's asinine. You know when you're using somebody because you're trying to extract something without giving something in return. When I'm talking about giving something in return, that's value for value. We're not talking about regular stuff, meaning somebody's hungry, naked, or homeless. That's not exchanging value. That's being merciful and compassionate. That's a different conversation. But if you want to leverage something and grow something, then people have to be useful to one another, which means you would need to be around people who can be useful to you. Niggas wear it as a badge of honor to hang around people who cannot benefit you. You know what I'm saying? What sense does that make? To have a whole bunch of people. I told my homeboy this other day. When I first decided to say, man, we can't sell no dope no more. I'm finna go do this and do this. And when I went to doing it, I told Boop and I told Fat Boy the same thing. I said, yeah, boy, we're gonna have to get new friends. He said, what you mean? I said, because all of us sell dope. None of us can help each other do nothing. Everybody we know sells narcotics. So if we're trying to go legal and do this and do that, these niggas are no benefit to us. How are we gonna be able to grab these niggas and pull these niggas along if all of us are doing the same thing? So if I'm trying to go over here, you say you want to clean, you want to breed dogs, I'm trying to sell property, nigga, we ain't got nobody in our phone that we can pick up and call and say, hey man, can you link me up with such and such? You don't know nobody. Everybody sell crack, sell weed, sell cocaine. Now, if we were talking about leveraging something on narcotics, we got plenty of connections. We got plenty of niggas in the network. We call this nigga, hey man, hit your mans up, man. My mans ain't got no coke, man. We done did that plenty of times. The nigga you call for coke ain't got no coke, but you know a nigga with some coke, call that nigga. Business still going. I said, yeah, bro, this not gonna work. We need new friends, bro. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas looking at me crazy, but you know, y'all already know this here. I've been told you that, boy, I will pull up in a room full of people I do not know. If the people in that room can assist me in where I desire to be. I get you this way. Somebody that I know benefited one of the dudes who worked for me. He said he's selling 16 units and a 3-bedroom house, all in the same place, all Maryland, $1.2 million. He trying to get the people in California to buy it. They say, hey man, We need all 16 units leased or we ain't buying it. So he said, you know what? He said, me and my partner will put the money up for the rent, get your guy, let him sign the lease, and he can stay here the whole year, no rent. He just got to pay the lights. You know what I'm saying? Because they were like, screw it. $4,000 ain't nothing. It's not going to have no tax implications, but he's able to benefit because of somebody that I know. Because he was already benefit because he sent us work, which allows me to pay him. But then through that allows him, now he got somewhere to stay and he ain't got to pay no rent for 12 months, which means that he can increase his wealth in that time period because the largest expense that anybody has is gone. Just like, okay, dude called me talking about, hey, man, your guy stole my fishing poles. Ain't nobody stealing no fishing poles. Let's just let that be known. Them niggas put the fishing poles on that truck, they threw them away. But the issue is the dude who hired us had told him, get all your crap that you want to keep and get it out of there. Because when they get there, everything gone. And he said he told him this 3 times, but he was telling me like, hey, he's not in the business, so he don't understand. You're in the business of trash. You're coming. If it's there, it's trash, it's going. You know what I'm saying? But the first thing he said, man, I can't have him talking like that because you in my network. So if I'm in his network, guess what that means? That means I'm in his network. That means that somebody need what I do, guess who I know somebody. And they gonna call you because that's what happened with that situation. He told them, I'm gonna call him. And I'm gonna bring him out here to do it. But that's what you do. That's why you do that. That's why you go out. That's why even I tell you word-wise, how Bruce be on that. He don't congregate with us. That's stupid. It don't make no sense. You ought to expand your network. Because you don't know who they know. You don't know what they do. You don't know how they can be a benefit to you. You don't know how you can be a benefit to them, therefore being a benefit to others. That makes absolutely no sense to isolate yourself from other people. That's stupid. That's not what men who seek to do something of note do. That isolation, that junk don't lead to nothing. I'm going to stay over here. I don't know them niggas. Oh, bump that. Yeah, bump that. You better get accustomed to talking to people you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You better get accustomed to it. Yeah, you got to leave. I told you that. So you got to leave that nigga stuff alone. That nigga stuff don't get you nowhere. I'm talking about, when I say nigga, I ain't talking about black people stuff. I'm talking about nigga stuff. Anything that niggas do, now leave that stuff alone. Look at it. They talking about Neptune Beach Police Department. Says a retired officer that died from COVID complications. Everybody, my homeboy just died from that jump, man. But that nigga was overweight, though. All going big joke. Took him on out of here. But it was exactly, you see how they put COVID complications? I think that would be in detail. That's what I would tell you. You don't die from COVID. See, that's how they be getting on their line. COVID is just like AIDS. Because you don't die from HIV and AIDS. You die from what that junk do to your immune system. It's quite clear that once you get COVID, that junk wreck your immune system in some shape, form, or fashion. Then once your immune system go down, if you got any weaknesses in your body, it could be a wrap for you. If you unhealthy in any shape, form, or fashion, because viruses, regardless of what they tried to tell you this other day, man, a virus can't do nothing but work its way through your body. You can't treat a virus. You can't vaccinate a virus. You can't cure a virus. You can't do none of that. Virus is a virus. And 99.9% of the time when you look at people who die from AIDS, what do they usually die from? Pneumonia. You know what I'm saying? Because viruses are respiratory infections. So when you look at, even though HIV is considered to be a sexually transmitted disease, it attacks the respiratory system, and that's what usually people who have HIV die from. I done seen people who had HIV that die from a cold.
But see, all viruses are respiratory. Or just like when you get a stomach virus. Yeah. So you throw it up.
It's over.
You're sick.
Yeah.
But then you throw that junk up, then you can be straight.
Yeah.
Ain't no medicine you can take.
Ain't nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Viruses can't do nothing but run their course. That's why I like this here. That's why a lot of people don't believe HIV is real. Because viruses don't stay for an indeterminate amount of time. They depart. Yeah, that AIDS is that's why they say, because AIDS is acquired immune deficiency syndrome. So what that means is that AIDS attacks your immune system and deteriorates your immune system, and then therefore you got AIDS, and then that's why they never say you die. They say you died of AIDS. They say you died of COVID, but you didn't. You died from whatever weakness you had in your body. You died from that. And those two maladies assist in the ability for that other thing to take you out. That's why all the people get on COVID, they get put on that respirator. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why a nigga born with HIV will be straight. Because they just got the virus.
They just got the
They're
virus.
not sick. They don't get sick so you get the AIDS.
Yeah, you get that junk develop into attacking. Because you got, what's the thing when people be immune deficient? What's that junk called? Huh? Yeah, because there's another, because that chick Aisha was like that. She immune deficient. Because that's the son, like people got immune deficiency, bro. They get sick quick. Boy, that junk kill them. Because their body is not strong enough to fight that off.
Who? Oh, that's why I got pneumonia. Because the older you get, the weaker you get. Something petty.
Huh. So swing over here to Psalms 80 real quick. And like I say, man, this is stuff that they teach you in school, but we don't really think. You don't think about it. You put your mind on it. And like I said, like that's why I told people, I'm not gonna say that COVID's not real, because you know that it's real, but it's a respiratory infection. So if I know, if you, all you gotta do is have common sense. You cannot vaccinate your way out of a respiratory infection. Can't do it. You can't cure Yahuwah did that for a reason. Look at it. Let's put this here, right? I want y'all to think about this here and pause. Look what it mentioned. HIV, common cold, AIDS, flu, they respiratory infections. So what does that mean? They attack the lungs. And what is in the lungs but the breath of Yahuwah? So that's the way that Yahuwah attacks the very essence of why you have life. Because when you perish, what does he say? I take my breath back. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when you like that, that's Yahuwah way, I'm going to get you out of here. I'm going to make sure I take my breath back. I'm going to make you labor and understand that you have no life without me.
But you don't think niggas can make that though?
What's that?
A virus?
You can make a virus is a living organism.
Right, that's why I feel like they can.
So you can't, I don't necessarily they can make them. I can say they can manipulate them. Because at that point, we're saying they have power to create life. And I don't think their science is that advanced. Me personally. I could be wrong.
I mean, they already have life in them, like I said, manipulating.
Yeah, I get them that. I think that they take things that are already present and manipulate them. But to like just take, yeah, exactly, taking bacteria. But like coronavirus has already been here.
Yeah, that just was on the. I seen that just on the last one.
You know what I'm saying? Coronavirus has already been here. It's now that, because Brandon hit me up because his auntie passed. And he was like, man, created that. I'm like, if evil been done in the city, have Yahuwah not done it? You know what I'm saying? He was like, so you saying, I'm like, absolutely, Yahuwah made it. Now I understand him because he's in a auntie passed. So I get it. I understand where he's coming from because no death hit people. That junk be like, hey, man, your mind go everywhere, especially with this right here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like this here, bro, like, who? Play with it. Yahuwah said, release the hounds. I need to kill some of you niggas. You niggas wicked.
Well, just allow wicked nigga to do it.
You know what I'm saying? And I told him that.
Right.
And then it boom. But then you looking at it as the response of the government. Well, the response of the government is Yahuwah is doing that to push certain stuff in a way that he wanted to go. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga give people too much.
I've been told y'all that for years. Nigga get them white folk too much credit. You get a government and the elite too much credit. Man, we already know what that text say, man. Yahuwah do all that. And Sharon said the way that he read it is that this disease is chastisement for mankind's sinful state, and the cure is repentance. And cursed be the man who put his trust in man. Now, see, this is the other part. I think I mentioned the other day because it clicked my brain, right? When the people tell you trust the science, they telling you to trust in man. I will not. I will not. You got to trust the science. You can trust these nuts. I want you to trust. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they try to ridicule you and shame you. Like Brandon was telling me, man, they protesting, talking about the unvaccinated people, the reason all this going on. I'm like, bro, them white people problem.
Two strokes. Like,
Sheesh.
she got that, what you call it?
Vaccine.
Yeah. You were saying that jump probably like clotting niggas, like clotting blood. Like, you feel me?
Ain't no telling, cause at the end of the day, He just saying not any particular disease, but just disease, period. Now, I've been told you that. I've always felt that HIV/AIDS was the whoremonger's penalty. You like to stick your meat and places it on ought to go, that's the penalty.
Just because it's all sexual, for the most part.
For the most part, you know what I'm saying? You got little pimples on your meat, little herpes. Because you like it, because guess what? Because you ain't supposed to be tucking and ducking like that. Because if you hit more than one woman, you supposed to be married to them if that's what you say you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? And we already know. I've been told you this here. A woman ain't supposed to be with no more than one man in her entire life. 2 unless he died. The sad part is we live in a society that if a woman been with 10 men or less, she's considered to be low. But if you would have went back shoot just 100 years ago, you was a stone cold whore. Once you went to the glove, you were whore.
That's fact.
You know what I'm saying? Because 1, okay, you played the whore in your father's house. 2, you pushing it. 3, you a slut. That's how that's looked at worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Because you would have to think about it. Why have you had this many different men in your womb? For what? For fun. Oh, Sean said the people at his job, the most sinful and rebellious, the ones the most fearful. But people are always fearful of death when you know you're going to hell. When you know you're going to hell, you're like, oh, I can't die. They're going to kill me. Don't let me die, please. Let me share with y'all what I was reading with Little Muffin, man. First and foremost, let's start at Psalms 80 and 1. Give ear, O shepherd of Yasharal, that you that lead Joseph like a flock, that dwell between the cherubims and shine forth. What's Michael at? Where's she hiding at? Oh, there she go. You know what a cherubim is, baby? You know what that is? What is a cherubim? First part, no. Second part, yes. You just said it's a higher ranking. No. Second part, yes. So you don't know what a cherubim is. In totality. No. Muffin. You know what a cherubim is, Muffin? I did. I'm not uprooting creeping, but I'm just saying that no, that's not correct. Muffin, do you know what a cherubim is? What? Do you know what a cherubim is? Yes. Do you know what the other place the cherubim's at? She said the ark. That's one. They somewhere else though. That's on the ark. On the throne, on the mercy seat. Yeah. Well, what they doing over there? Indeed.
Tree of life.
That's why she said they guard Seraphim.
Yeah, that's why I know, but that wasn't Shamahim, so I couldn't give her that. We was on Jeopardy.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't give you a half a $500 answer. It's all or nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's all or nothing. Now, when I was telling Little Muffin, she was like, I know the angel is, they have wings. Question, do angels have wings? Why do you say no?
What cherubim do?
Cherubims do. That is correct. There's other angels that got wings. Do you know them? Seraphim. And do you know the other? There is a third.
The ones you see in Revelation with all the 7 with the eyes on them.
Those as well. They don't have a name. Or you could call them Seraphim.
They don't have a name.
Yeah. I don't remember no name for them though. You remember the name, but
That's that, and those were the cherubim. What I was mentioning to her is that's yeah. See, there's a cherubim, teraphim, and seraphim are all malachims, but they're different because they have different appearances. A regular malachim look like us. And, yeah. Yeah, we finna read all. Yeah, we finna read about all of them. Like I said, because when we was doing this here, and I ran across that, and I asked her, my brain got sparked. You know what I'm saying? So let me say that. Yes, sir.
I would say, and then with Malachim, if they come in there steam,
they will come shining. You want to see how? Ezekiel 40.
still be
But
a man.
be a witness of the men. They got to form outside of earth.
Yeah, but see, the reason why I'm mentioning this here because she was watching. That's why I don't like the Bible TV shows. None of that junk, because that junk give false distortions. Because they throw idolatry in. That's why I ain't with them. Because it showed the Alahym with wings, and they don't have wings. That's some other stuff. That's some old Greece Roman type stuff. That's Nike and all that other type of stuff. What they got going on with that. A Malachim is going to look like a man. When Gabriel approached Mary, she seen a man. When that Malachim approached Daniel, he seen a man. When he approached Manoah, Samson's daddy, he saw a man. When they came to Lot, he saw men.
When Lamar was the first one that like really smart understanding, so he was saying prior to the Mashiach, the men that they seen was the Mashiach.
Yeah, see, that's,
you know what I'm saying?
But that means he manifested on the earth multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
All Malachim.
But he was saying that because Yahusha is the messenger of Yahuwah. So when
He
they
is.
saw the messengers of
Now
Yahuwah, that's how you explain.
This is what he did.
Yeah.
I seen one in the fiery furnace like unto the Son of Man, meaning he looks like unto the Son of Man, meaning that he is in the image of the Son of Man, meaning that he is birth of the Son of Man, because the Son of Man is the kings, and kings don't get off their throne. He didn't get off his throne until he decided that now I shall become a man and die for the very people of whom I created. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't no different than, see, that's going back to the create or to conform to the image, because the Malachim already look like that's their daddy.
Right. I don't think he was saying that was him.
I'm saying he did, but most brews say that was Yahushua, that was Jesus, that was Yeshua.
But all the messages should come in the appearance of the messengers.
Indeed. And
It's
also
like
coming in the appearance,
of
it's not
Yahushua.
also just coming in the physical appearance. Just like if you seen me, you seen the Father. That means my behavior, my conduct, you seen him, because I am fashioned in his image. I talk like him. I walk like him. I obey and move like him. That's why he said David was a man after his own heart, because I move like my father. I conduct myself like. That's why we talked about it a few weeks back. Look at all that mercy that man showed. That's why Yahushua come back and say, well, how much you be merciful like your Father in heaven with your doggone spiteful, wicked self. You know what I'm talking about? How you gonna sit back and say you a son of God, but you can't be merciful to somebody you don't know? And Yahuwah do it every day. Because guess what? Before he called your name, boy, he did not know you. In that sense, because you already know what the text say. Before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. So if you was ordained to salvation, of course he knew you. But while you were living in sin, well, that man ain't know you. He ain't know you. He couldn't say he know. To know someone is to know them on an intimate level. Out of the way. That's different. Who can have compassion on the ignorant and out of the way? Sue. Only Alahym could do that. That's what they didn't understand about Yahushua when he was sliding through. He hanging with sinners. Well, who else gonna have mercy on him?
Y'all niggas don't.
Y'all niggas don't. With your wicked self.
Y'all ready to catch the first time?
Y'all ready to crash and dash. The whole time you finna go back right here and play with yourself. And when I'm talking about play with yourself, I ain't talking about play with yourself as forth as your genitals. You finna play with your soul, because you finna go over here after all this wickedness you've been doing and then stand in front of these people like you just. You're playing with yourself. You're lying to yourself. Talking about you can see. Nigga, your sin remain, boy.
I see all things.
I see all things.
Right.
Ezekiel 40:1 though, man.
Right.
Go ahead, bro. Right. Go ahead. Before I even start. Yeah, come on. No, it ain't rolled yet. The camera's like this.
I'll say with the adversary, which one do you think he'll follow? The adversary. I don't know if they say he's a Malachim.
No, he's a spirit, an unclean spirit.
But not
Wait.
an evil Malachim?
Wait, would you say he's a Malachim? Yeah, he's the messenger of evil. He brings evil to whomever he goes to.
I was saying he want to come like a man, like he'll come.
Yeah, he gonna come like a man.
That's why like on the Matrix, how Smith be jumping in the niggas and jump into anybody. And
Remember it said that about that. Remember that in John 13? Remember what it said in John 13? That Judas, that the devil entered into Judas. Yeah, he jumped, because you got to be adversarial and a slanderer. See, when you got somebody that always like to be a contrarian and always like to slander, well, the devil in him. I've been told you that. Nigga who disorderly, like to lie on niggas. You know what I'm talking about? And always want to argue and be contentious. Well, the devil in that nigga. I'm talking about sure do stink. And if that nigga tell lies regularly, boy, it ain't hard to spot a nigga who the devil is. I'm talking about he dwell there too, hang out all the time. I always say legion. We are many. Yeah, it's many spirits in that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't being funny now. I'm telling y'all something, man. You run across a dude. I'm talking about, especially if they say in the word. Now you got to be able to peep the game. Now y'all been in the word too long now to be able to peep game. Stop being lame out here, man. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna tell you what the rest of these niggas ain't gonna tell you. Don't be no sucker out here. Nigga who like to be contrarian, nigga always want to argue, always want to be adversarial. Satan name mean adversary. Nigga who always an adversary, that boy got the devil in him. That boy got the devil in him. Devil live there. You understand what I'm telling you? That nigga like to lie. He say he the liar and the father of it. Devil in that nigga, boy. That nigga like to always fulfill his lust. He ain't got no control over desire. Devil in that nigga, boy. That nigga disorderly, because Alahym ain't also a confusion. Confusion is disorder. This nigga ain't got no structure, no discipline, no nothing. Devil in him, boy. That's why he say he that commits sin of the devil. Devil in him, boy. Nigga like to slander, because remember, devil mean what? Whisperer. What a whisperer do? Slander, not no gossip. We ain't talking about, oh, you heard about such and such, because that junk might be true. Nigga be like, but you heard they call cars in the closet playing with itself. You might have been in that closet. Oh, you heard about bro, he's smoking dope. You might have been smoking that dope. But if a nigga say they see you at the trick house tricking with a man and you wasn't around there, that boy a whisperer. People, or matter of fact, let me just put it this way. A whisperer is somebody who he like to accuse you of stuff you ain't doing. That's the devil. That's what he do. He like to whisper. Accuse you before the throne, but you ain't doing it. Devil in that boy. That wouldn't wicked Hebrew be like to see it. He's a whisperer. He's accusing people of nothing. Not if a nigga asked you, hey, bro, you was stealing? Because these people around here talking about you was stealing. That ain't accusing you if I'm directly asking you, was you stealing? I'm asking you. I'm trying to find out. Now, if I went to other niggas, you know that nigga Darius like to steal off people's dresses now. Don't let him in your room. That's an accuser and a whisperer. That boy got the devil in him. You're moving like the devil. You're acting like a devil. You are the devil. Shoot. You mean, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better get your game tight in your mind, right? Don't let these nigga fool you out here, man. I'm trying to tell you what God love. That's the truth. Ooh, trick you right on up out of him. Cause get what he came with Yahushua on. Some old accusing type time. Cause not even say that. He came at him trying to appeal to lust. Try to appeal to desire. See, you got to get lust out of your brain thinking about you all riled up for coochie, riled up for penis. Lust is desire, and everybody desires is different. I've been told y'all this here. He ain't tried Yahushua with no vagina. That man wasn't worried about no monkey. You ain't ate for 40 days. You ain't drunk for 40 days. You think he finna size him with some vagina? Ain't no man who ain't ate for 40 days thinking about some sexual gratification.
He could be more tired.
And the reason why, you know why he approached him like this here? Because when you're in that weak state, you can be more inclined to fulfill your desires. So, hey, man, turn this stone into bread. Hey, man, jump up off this cliff. You know he'll catch you. Boy, I give you all these kingdoms. I already know you a king. Let me tempt you with what I already know you would do. Because it's Yahushua's desire to sit on the throne. That's why he came down here, to reclaim the throne. Let me size you with that. Let me see if he'll go ahead if I give him this one here. How you going to tempt me with what's already mine? You can't tempt me with what's already mine. That's how you have to understand that. Your crown is already yours. How can somebody tempt you with what already belonged to you? That don't even make common sense. That don't even make man, I've been told you, man, Satan game raggedy, man. This like this here, right? That's why I told y'all a long time ago. When you look like niggas be going crazy about Kevin saying, I'm like this here. Does a man have conversations that are right about certain matters? Absolutely. This nigga a sinner. So you can't get caught up on all that. But like this nigga be saying, niggas ain't got daddies out here. They looking for father figures. So when they see a dude, they don't know the difference of, I can agree with a man, but I don't mean I got to agree with him with everything that he say and do. Okay, I agree with you on that matter. That is correct. I can't agree with you with tricking with hoes, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because you got money, nigga, that mean you was a buster and a sucker. Talking about, oh, but you gonna talk out of it? Well, shoot, nigga, I ain't gotta talk out of it. If she seen a real nigga walk in the room, that monkey already tingling. She already ready to come over here. Don't get mad at me because don't no hoes want to step to you when you walk in the room, nigga.
Hey, look, he walking around, he get hard. That looking boy.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm mentioning that because that's the difference between for lack of a better term, if you's an alpha or a beta. Alpha ain't got to pay no woman for no monkey. They want to give it to him. All she want, I just want to see. I just want to see. You know what I'm talking about? Beta male like this here. I gotta buy that. Man, brother, I look like paying for a nut. Nigga, I go in my room, beat my meat. Nigga, keep my money. Look, I look like giving a funky slut hoe $5,000. Nigga, you's a whore. A whore. A harlot. And like I said, I just want y'all to know, that ain't no word, man. I felt like that before the word, man. I would talk better than that, man. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with the word, man. I ain't tricking off on the hope. No. Who? Pale? Absolutely not. Talking about coming at taking a woman out on a date is tricky. Get your cow behind up out of here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If you taking a woman out for the purpose of getting sex, you already a buster. You know what I'm talking about? Because if you wanted sex, you should have just looked in the face and said, I want vagina. Is you with? Not taking you out for the get no sex. Nigga, you getting taken out because I was going to this restaurant tonight anyway. So you get the benefit of where I'm going and you get to enjoy the stellar company that I get to provide. That's what you get. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm providing you with company because I ain't got no problem coming here dolo. I could have came here and sat in here and ate, or I could have came and taken to go. But either way it go, I would come in here to eat anyway. You know what I'm talking about? So I ain't taking you out nowhere. See, that's where you get the game twisted out. You want to take him out and impress him? What I look like trying to impress you to prove to you that you should let me take care of you? Get the hell out of here. Let me impress you to show you that I have the means to take care of you. You knew I had the means to take care of you when I walked in the room.
I walked through the door.
You already knew that. So you need to prove to me why I ought to take care of you. But get what? When you come to Yahuwah, you already know he can take care of you. He need to prove to you he can take care of you. Get the hell out of here. That junk sounds stupid. You know what I'm talking about? Then he coming with this junk. See, this is why people over here now. That nigga lied. This is why we over here now. Why the other cultures and nations know that it's to pay for sex? Beauty costs. Shut your cow behind. I don't care nothing about what them other people over here doing. That's why we over here now. Worrying about what they doing. Africans sit up under cow pits. Should I go sit up under cow pits because they do it? Absolutely not. No, and I told the brother earlier, man, I just said the only way you should be investing large amounts of time into a woman is because you're trying to marry her. You know what I'm saying? If you're investing hours in the hopes of getting sex, you a beta, a sucker, and a buster, get a life. Go get you some money, man. You know what I'm saying? What is you spending 2, 4, 5, 6 hours a day trying to convince a woman to give you vagina? If she wanted to give you vagina, she'd have been gave it to you. You know what I'm saying? If you got to sit on the phone with a chick for 3 to 4 hours every day in the hopes that she don't want to give you none. And that's what's wrong. That's what young men need to start doing with their homeboy. Hey, bro, she don't like you, bro. Stop calling her. You know what I'm saying? She don't like you. She just don't like you. Stop doing it. Straight up now. See, Ruth knows that's why she laughing. She don't. She like, yeah, I don't like them niggas either. Ain't that right? That's right. That's right. I'm gonna tell you the truth now. You ain't gotta believe it. That nigga lied when he told you that. Then when Creflo Dollar dissed him, he want to open up a Bible. Look at this Bible you ain't been using it. That nigga think because you highlight some pages in the Bible, that means you've been using the word. Get your stupid behind out of here, nigga.
What you have the Bible on?
Yeah, he pulled his Bible out on one, man, because Creflo Dollar dissed him. Nigga, they ain't no badge of honor because you got dissed by a false prophet.
He act like he's abused for it now.
No, the nigga really got on it. Then they called him out. But Creflo called him out because this nigga messing with his money. Because now the women ain't breaking bread. But I've been told y'all this for years. You don't see no men in these churches, man. One thing I know, everybody knows the Bible is a specific thing. I don't want to say Bible. The book of Yahuwah is a specific thing. It is a book of instruction. When you go to church, that is a place of emotion, and men seek to be instructed. So if I'm going somewhere and I'm not being instructed, I do not see the rhyme, reason, or purpose of why I would continue to come here.
That's why niggas go to the military. That's why I tell you what buddy.
Absolutely. than Christian. Absolutely. Because when they turn to Islam, they get instruction, they get discipline, they get structure, and they get order. And just like he said, that's why a lot of young brothers join the military. They get instruction, they get discipline, they get structure, and they get order. That is the nature of a man. Men want to know what they need to do, when they need to do it, and where they need to do it. All that ambiguity that women like to do, guess and think and figure. Men don't operate like that. I need to find order. Tell me exactly what you want me to do, when you want me to do it, where you want me to do it, and when it needs to be accomplished. We don't like ambiguous things. Can't operate in that. So when you come and you go into a church and they all here clapping and singing and all the emotion, men, I'm talking about men, I ain't talking about beta male suckers and hoe niggas. Men aren't going to stay. They're going to leave. This is not a place of instruction. Especially, I don't care if you know anything about this book. The minute you take a stroll through this book, you understand this is a book of instruction. And I came here to be instructed. And you're not instructing me. Why would I keep coming? Absolutely. That's because a woman is not going to read the text. A woman needs a man to guide her and tell her what to do. Because y'all don't know what to do. You put a woman out here, you already know it. You see it in America every day. You put a woman out here and you just let her do it. She doesn't know what to do. Y'all be the ones, I just love a man that tell me, just put on some clothes, we going out. And see, that's stupid stuff. Ain't nobody got time for all that. See, you're living in a fantasy land. Nobody got time to put on your dress, wear this black dress and all. Man, bump all that, nigga. We don't need to be going nowhere anyway. You made dinner tonight? What you got going on? Because you want to perpetuate a life that doesn't exist because you're comparing your life to what other women say they nigga do. Well, that nigga's a simp. So you can't judge a real man to a simp because that man is never gonna do what this nigga gonna do. But that same woman that say her man do all this stuff, that's the same woman who come tell you she don't respect that nigga. But you want your man to be the man that she don't respect. Make that make sense. And guess what they do? They do that with the Lord. They just call him Jesus when they do it. They made him into a man whom they don't even respect and tell you to act like that, but they don't respect it. How we know they don't respect it? Because they don't obey. Ezekiel 40, verse 1.
I was gonna ask you, like I was telling you about that instruction for a man. It's a line between a nigga wanting instruction and then a nigga having the patience to wait on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and of course, when I'm talking about instruction, I'm talking about the Hebraic definition of instruction. I'm talking about chastisement, correction, and reproof. Because if you come in the church, you already know you wrong. I need to be corrected. Because the law is not made for the righteous but for a sinner. So you already know you need to be corrected. And my behavior is not being corrected. So why would I keep coming in here? We know why women gonna come. Women don't want to be corrected. And you know that with Yasharal, because he came and he said you were stiff-necked and you wouldn't listen and gave me the back and not the front. You gave me your butt to kiss. All the stuff that's why I tell you, right? You gonna think about pimping in the aspect of selling vagina, but when you talking about pimping from the step of domination, that man already did that because he already showed you. If I tell you don't give a woman what she don't earn you, who already told you that in Ezekiel 16? He already told you that in Deuteronomy 32. Jeshurun waxed fat and kick. You say I gave you this here, you open your feet to everybody that passed by. You didn't earn it, you ain't appreciate it. So get what? Make her earn what she get, or she don't get nothing at all. But you like, that ain't right. Well, shoot, that's how Yahuwah live. What's more right than him? Shoot, I'm gonna roll with Yahuwah for 5,000, Alex. I'm just telling you what the book do. He didn't give Yahusha the mantle of son of Alahym before he earned it. When he earned it, he gave it to him. He say, son, get on up in the third day. You fulfilled your duty. Now here, inherit. Take all of these things. Reclaim what I had given you. Hey, man, that's not what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? That's pimping in his finest. Pimping ain't nothing but discretion and direction. That's all it is. It's just a little bit of discretion and direction. I've got to give you a little insight so you know what not to do and when to do it. And this how you move when you see this here. That's all it is. Just a little discretion and direction. You know what I'm saying? But most people ain't lack discretion and don't want direction. So you end up without protection. That's how it goes. Ezekiel 40. In the 25th year of our captivity, in the beginning of the year, in the 10th day of the month, in the 14th year after the city was smitten, in the selfsame day, the hand of Yahuwah was upon me and brought me thither. In the visions of Alahym, brought he me into the land of Yasharal, and he set me upon a very high mountain, and by which was the frame of the city on the south, and he brought me hither, and behold, there was a man whose appearance was like the appearance of brass, with a line of flax in his hand and a measuring reed, and he stood in the gate. So he seen a brown-skinned man. This was a Malachim who he was dealing with. Every time you see a Malachim in the appearance of a person, they look like a man. Every time, without fail. That is, there is no, they seen a man. Remember what Manoah asked him? He said, what's your name? He said, what you need to know my name? They didn't even know they seen a Malachim till he got consumed in the fire. They thought they were dealing with a man. Lot didn't know those were Malachim. And that's why the book tell you, be careful to entertain strangers, because some people have entertained angels unaware. That's why you ought to be merciful, kind, and just to everybody you come across, not just the people you know. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? I had to tell my homeboy this here years ago. He got mad. An angel ain't never gonna be a woman. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna never be no woman. He ain't gonna be standing on the corner drinking no Colt 45, smoking no Cools or Newports. You know what I'm saying? You know how dudes be like, I think that was an angel. Drinking a beer? Drinking a beer.
Smoking the Joe.
Come over here to Revelation chapter 4. Drinking a beer. Malt liquor at that.
You might be sipping a little wine, huh?
Sipping on, you know the angel. Get your man.
You like, that boy said, you just run wax fat and kick.
Wax fat and kick. He said, guess what? I gave you the best of everything. I gave you the best of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
I appreciate it, man. Because guess what? Because we done talk about this here. Did they earn it?
Gave it to him.
What you say? All of them. Ain't no Michael Landon touch Highway to Heaven. Ain't no Della Reese touched by an angel. Ain't no fat black woman, no angel. Whole talking about she an angel. Get the hell out of here. You an angel, all right. An angel and a devil. Even Satan angels are men, and they're gonna be black men. And when you done seen people who actually say they had visions of the devil, they'll tell you they seen a man, they seen a black man. He's gonna be a black man. How he gonna be anything that? See, I'm gonna read y'all something.
See, I thought his angels might be a little
Mm-mm.
be a little fruity, you know, a little.
No, they gotta understand though. Satan himself is not into sodomy. The people who worship Satan are into sodomy. See, Satan is going to promote you to do sodomy because it will allow you to be abominable and make sure that you get separated. See, now I haven't talked about this in a long time. When you deal with the quote-unquote selling your soul to the devil, musically industry stuff, they're asking you to do, the first thing they're asking you to do is to commit idolatry. So they're trying to make sure that you make yourself an abomination. Because he's trying to make sure that Alahym will hate you and reject you. So, but also, Satan is only tempting people with the stuff that he know they want to do. So he already know you want a nigga to back door. I'm just giving you the opportunity. Here go a nigga with some meat. You want it?
That's the to meet your commitment on the other side. It's your desire.
Even if I got to do a man, I'll do it.
And they already know that.
I get you. Even if that ain't his lust, if his lust is something later on, he gonna, like you say, make himself abominable. He might not be on that gauge, but he trying to get you to do anything to separate
Remember,
yourself.
Satan, all he is a tempter. Remember, because Yahushua is our example. He tempted him with the things that he knew that Yahushua was set to receive. He tempted him by his faith, by telling him to jump off this mountain, because he knew that he trusted in his father. So that's what he tempted him with. He knew that he coming to bring in a new covenant from the old, so that's what he's tempted him with. He know you the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That's what he tempted him with. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm coming at the things that you desire because these are the things your father promised you and you desire to receive them of him. He's only going to tempt you with what you desire. See, if you completely desire Alahym, his temptations are nothing. Most people don't completely desire Alahym. That's why they can get thrown off the trail. That's why they can get thrown off the trail. So a nigga who desires to be famous, he may, like I said, regardless of what, if he tempts you with a man's butt, you was already wanting that. Because there was no way you would go for something that you did not already desire. Because he said, remember, a man is drawn away and enticed of his own desire. So you desire to be deflowered
I
by
was
it.
looking at it. You saying the love of money and the root of all evil. So since you want the money, you're willing
But it's the root of all evil. So the root of evil is desire. So your desire, you desire a man's butt.
I want to go out.
Once the bubble and the water goes away,
I get a man, get a million.
That's right,
I have
Samar.
to hit a man, so you get a million.
once the fuzz go away and the water
Some of them get the desire, they desire debauchery. Orgies with multiple women, trains, and that's what you desire. Some niggas desire drugs.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I'm saying?
Little girl.
Some niggas desire to be pedophiles.
Yeah, you're right. It makes sense though. Right?
Remember, Satan, and I'm telling you this here, outside of the rich nigga, I'm telling you this for yourself. Satan can only tempt you with what you desire. Notice again that what he tempted Yahushua with is what his father had promised him. So he was trying to distort the promise of Alahym to get him to go after what was already going to be his if he remained faithful. See, if your desire is to Alahym, this man cannot tempt you with nothing because all you desire is Yahuwah. If you don't desire Yahuwah and you desire things outside of that, you can get God. You can get God. That's why the text say, and your desire should be to who? Your husband. Uh-oh. If your desire ain't to your husband, nigga might come through and trick you. That's why he told you that. And he will rule over you because your desire and what pleases and pleasures you is going to be to him. I desire his will. See, a lot of people, they desire ain't to their husband. So guess what? Satan can come through and get that butt. Get that butt. I'm trying to tell you. I jump bigger than some niggas selling they bump them niggas. Them niggas was weirdos before they got this. You got to be a weirdo to want to be in the entertainment business anyway, if you know what's really going on. And I ain't even talking about on no devil worshiping type stuff. And when I say weirdo, not weirdo in a negative way, you got to be a different person than everybody else to subject yourself to that lifestyle because it ain't what you think it is. Those people are harsh. Those people are thieves. Those people are ridiculed. It's very, very cutthroat. It's a hell of a business. You have to have a different, I say weirdo isn't always negative. You got to be a different type of person. Like I just seen that Noyama soccer chick, boo-hoo crying, capping, because a man asked you a simple question. She ain't built for what she got going on. You got to be a weirdo. Yeah, that ain't how that works.
I see a lot of athletes especially talk about that now. Just because they talent and they be like, sure, I don't really care about me having the talent. I'm not willing to live like how they want me to live.
Because you got to be different, because it's different. You're in a fishbowl. It's high stress. It's dead. That's what I mean. We got to be different. It takes a different type of person to be in the industry of entertainment and maintain your sanity and thrive. Because everybody in the entertainment business ain't sold. They sold. No. They know what's going on.
That's why that nigga business. I said that's why they don't let that nigga business.
Shoot, he might be with it because they be shooting that man a lot of stuff. See, sometimes the ones you don't think be with it be right in the bed with him. You know what I'm saying? Because that man get a lot of stuff. He owns sports franchises. He be on all these ads. That nigga might get on there and play that real nigga role whole time. That nigga say, "What's up, wait? Hey, Cody." You don't never know.
But do keep some shades on.
I mean, but shoot,
Watching nigga on show live.
Huh?
like we put our money together, we put like $5,000, $10,000.
But you gotta look at other niggas who got it. All the other niggas who got it, definitely big bootleg.
You never know, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just talking about franchises.
So the grandfather said he owned somebody.
Oh, I
Not like
Yeah, but I'm saying that there, this nigga got one. Number one thing you got to look at is this nigga has a whole clothing line funded by fanatics. You got to look at all that there. We can't get nobody no pass when you fooling with the people. You don't never know.
You don't never know.
Nah, it ain't easy to do to get your site is funded, branded, and ran by fanatics. Fanatics just took over all Major League and NFL baseball cards. They about to get down with Rock Nation to make a doggone betting app for the NFL and baseball. Fanatics is probably one of the largest apparel companies in the country, if not the world. You know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with somebody who's dealing with that type of money, they got requirements.
Y'all leave with the eyebrow up.
You know what I'm saying? We can't get nobody no bill.
I keep it like he's saying, man. What he's saying, that's true though, bro. He ain't no average Joe nigga now who's just staying out the way.
Man been in that game for a long time. Hey man.
That's all he said. Keep your eyebrows up, nigga. Don't let it down.
Don't give him a pass because you think you're a real nigga. Real niggas sell their soul too.
Straight up. Just talk about it. You ain't down with you, nigga. You sell it.
You sell it. You liable.
That nigga ain't down.
Revelation 4:1.
You ain't down what you doing. Watch you, nigga. One false move.
He said, after this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven. The first voice which I heard was as it were a trumpet talking with me, which said, come up hither, and I will show you things which must be hereafter. And immediately I was in the ruach, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. So immediately he was taken up in ruach. Do y'all recall how that talked about something we talked about last week?
You said he was taken to the third heaven.
Third heaven. But he said he was taken up in the spirit. That means I knew a man in Mashiach, whether in the body or out of the body. I cannot tell. John was out of the body. Now, notice right it said, what is the firmament called? Monica, you know what the firmament called? Correct.
Shamayim.
What the trick, bro?
Heaven, what?
Heaven?
He saw the throne set in heaven. I mean, he saw the throne in the firmament. Now we're going to look and see that he saw the throne above the firmament, which is going to also allow us to understand the second, third heaven. Let's continue. And he say, and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone, and there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald. Who knows what a jasper stone looked like? No. Do y'all know what a sardine stone look like? Look it up. Jasper and sardine stone. Look it up.
Let me look up the jasper like green.
No. Emerald is green. Saran just told it. No. Did you look it up?
It says a bunch of colors, but mostly brown.
Mostly who?
Brown.
What kind of brown?
Nigga brown.
Look at it just said. It's reddish brown.
Yeah.
You know who reddish brown?
Ruddy.
Ruddy. Who was ruddy?
Nigga.
Crimson red.
Specifically.
Esau.
David.
Him too.
In Ezekiel, the
Sapphire.
Sapphire.
So look at what he described. Read it again, because you know everybody like to read Revelation 1 talking about he black. Look at what it said. He that sat was to look upon like jasper and sardine stone. It just told you the man he saw sitting on the throne was ruddy. He just told you he seen a brown-skinned man sitting on the throne. That's right. Adam was ruddy too. Jasper and sardine. He's telling you he brown, he black.
Yeah, it's like
Sardine.
Sardine.
that's sardine right there.
Reddish brown, a little ruddy.
Jasper looks just like it. It's just a little darker.
Same difference.
Different hues of brown.
Brown-skinned man.
With a little tint, red tint.
Red.
Kind of like itself.
He was ruddy with a beautiful countenance. That would have taken. Now, what is that rainbow round about the throne? Let's take a look. Ezekiel chapter 1.
You're dirty, man. What book is it?
Ezekiel 1.
Ezekiel.
You can pick it up at verse 19. That's right, marble, and marble is brown. That's what Brother Harrison just put on there. Marble is brown. We didn't mention this here because you know everybody like Revelation. You know everybody look over Revelation 2 when Yahushua himself say, "Thus saith the son of Alahym, whose feet is like fine brass." Mm-hmm. But the text used enough. This is the meaning of he already know. Remember, you will know all things. He already know these people gonna make a false image of him, in an image of him. Period. But he was trying to let you know what he looked like. And he telling you, John say, I was taken up in the ruach and seen a man sitting on the throne looking like a jasper stone. I seen a reddish brown man sitting on the throne. Daniel seen the same thing when he seen him. I seen a reddish brown man. Of course, Yahushua would be ruddy since they were ruddy.
The
First ruddy man.
first ruddy man was ruddy.
It all makes sense. He comes from the seat. Oh, that takes us back to them guys. We're going to stop right there.
Keep going.
Nah, we're not. We're going to stop right there. We're going to leave that alone. No, not the part of us. We're going to leave that point alone. Because I mentioned they go to them genealogies again, but we're going to leave that alone. Because one start with David, one end with Adam. Ruddy man. Ruddy man. Ezekiel 1 and 20. Wheresoever the ruach was to go, they went thither. Was their ruach to go? Because he that are led by the ruach, they are the sons of Alahym. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the ruach of the living creature was in the wheels. When those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the ruach of the living creature was in the wheels. And the likeness of the firmament upon the head of the living creature was the color of terrible crystal, stretched forth over their heads above. What's the color of crystal? Clear, because he's looking at seeing the heavens. The heavens are clear. Firmament. Clear. Under the firmament were their wings straight, the ones towards the other. Everyone had two, which covered on this side, and everyone had two, which covered on that side. Their bodies. And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings like the noise of great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech as the noise of a host. And when they stood, they let down their wings. Now remember, mercy seat, right? That's the throne of Alahym. Remember, we just read that there, that dwell between the cherubims. What's on the throne of Alahym on the mercy seat? Them cherubim. What you hearing is the throne coming down. That's why you hear them wings flapping from them cherubim. Because he's literally on the throne. The Ark of the Covenant is a repeat of the throne. And of course, you know what it said in Jeremiah 3 about the Ark of the Covenant, what he told. Y'all remember what he told Jeremiah 3 about the Ark of the Covenant? Don't worry about it. Somebody child scream. Upstairs. Y'all don't know? You don't know? You got your hand thinking like you in deep thought. Or was you thinking about all them friends you led down the wrong path? You said you was the echo.
I just did the after He wanted to do it anyway, so
He wanted to
put that booty in his face.
You might as well, girl. He look good.
I wanted to do it anyway.
Look, tell me how it was when you get back. Look at Lisa. She like this. I so did. I tried to tell my bulldog sister to get up, man. She came back with a woman. She wanted to do it anyway. She wanted to do it anyway. Yeah. You ain't trying to get your sister no man. Huh? She wanted to do it. So she always been wanting to come to eat coffee. It's all right. You're going to deal with the devil when you grow.
That's what I said.
Woo! Y'all ain't found it in Jeremiah 3 yet? I don't think y'all looking.
I'm halfway through, boy.
I thought he was swift with it.
I'm halfway
Yeah, he's standing telling you it's about verse 15.
Read it, Sam.
You don't overlook it? About verse 15 to 16. Jeremiah 3.
I ain't pull it up.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Sit.
Increase the land. Somewhere the ark of the covenant. You shall come to mind.
That's
Shall
it.
they remember?
Ah, neither shall they remember it.
Of this.
No, it won't come to mind. No.
Neither
Why
shall
would
it
you?
be done anymore?
Why would you visit the throne when the throne on earth? What type of sense that made? These boy around to my, they got the ark of the covenant. Sit your stupid butt down somewhere, you ignorant nigga. You's a fool. What you gonna walk around with a covenant for and the covenant on earth? Sitting on the throne. We need to make sure we carry the ark.
Boy say the white folks got the they got the gold in
Romans, they took it.
They made all the movies, Raiders of the Lost Ark, shoot. They like this here. I wouldn't be looking, I don't care, shoot. Rate it, look it, find it. You ain't never gonna find it. The man told you that. Keep on looking. You know what I'm talking about? Dumb bastard. We waiting for the ark that come from the sky.
And he took it up.
Shoot, I don't know what he did with it. I doubt he destroyed it. He probably hid it somewhere nice and good.
Yeah.
He upstairs.
You said he probably hit it.
You should be sleeping.
No, I told you, I just heard a child up there screaming.
Seraphim might be
Got him.
guarding.
Got
You
him.
said he probably hit it.
He probably hit it. I don't know. That's all speculation.
That's the Lord's business.
That's his business. Ain't got nothing to do with me. That's above my pay grade.
I would say the last
You see the real thing.
Took it out of Babylon. Oh, last time the Ark of the Covenant was present, it was in the temple.
was it during Ezra and Nehemiah?
No, Romans, man. Ark of the
One
Covenant.
time the temple was set with Babylon.
Yeah, it got sacked. I mean, I don't know what they ain't none of my business.
Say it, but the script do say they carried off all the precious things.
They carried it all. Babylon said, but they might have, and no, Darius and Cyrus might have sent it back on the rebuild, and the Romans might have, but it doesn't matter. He told you not one stone was gonna stay here. You don't need none of this stuff. You don't need no temple. You don't need no ark when you got me.
I was made of the things of the earth. Rome is made of the
Things of the earth. That made out of stones and wood, gold.
All of us got some of that. You probably got a little bit of that. You missing that.
What you got there? You sure?
No, sit down.
Hey.
Ezekiel, hey, y'all children, be quiet, sit down and be still before we start a slap-a-thon in here. Who wants to be the first contestant? You want to come to the slap-a-thon? Slap you right upside the back of your head. You want to be a contestant? You sure? It's a prize. You know what the prize is? Slap right upside the back of your head. All right, Ezekiel 1, where we at, right? Verse 25. There was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads, and when they stood and they had down their wings. He said, Saran say, some say it was in a grotto under Golgotha, so that Yahushua's blood sprinkled it upon it at its sacrifice, which there's no way to prove that. Because I'd be honest with you that if the temple was erect at that time, so it shouldn't have been nowhere but in the temple. According to the word. The temple was erect, and if the Ark of the Covenant was present at that time, it should have been right in that temple, in the Kadash of the Kadash. That way it's supposed to be. It can't be nowhere else. And the veil was rent, that way it was at, because it would have been no need for no veil if it wasn't there. And this is what it is, right? And above the firmament. So if it's above the firmament, it's above the what? First heaven. That was over their heads was the likeness of a throne as the appearance of sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness of the appearance of a man above upon it. We just read in Revelation 4, the likeness of the appearance of that man. And remember, you're asking him to create in you a new heart. And if you're getting a new heart created in you, we've already talked about this as forfeits, that he said out of David, out of his loins would one sit upon his throne. Now, what does he tell you that his blood redeemed you to be? Kings and priests. So if you're going to take on, I put it this way, right? Philippians tells you what? Let this mind be in you. The same mind that was in Yahushua HaMashiach. And what did it say that he had? That he humbled himself, even unto death, even the death of the state. Because if you remember when we looked at Maliks or kings job is to do what? To serve. So then you turn around, then he said, let this mind be in you, the same mind that was in Mashiach, that he that suffered in the flesh does what? Ceases from sin. So the thing that you see that the mind frame, because the mind frame of a king is to be disciplined and a servant. So you can't be a king if you lack discipline. You can't be a king if you're not willing to serve your kingdom. Because it's not going to be able to work. But see, the biggest problem is that people want to be served how they want to be served because you come to Burger King. You live the Burger King life. Have it your way. So you have to look at that and think about that, right? So when you're taking on this mind of creating a new heart, because what did Mashiach tell you? You must be what? And if you're born of the ruach, that means you're born of the mind of Alahym. Because Alahym is a ruach. And they that worship him must worship him in ruach and in truth or in faithfulness. You're going to have to worship him with his mind faithfully. Because the ruach is the essence and mind of Alahym. And you're asking for him to create. And remember, this goes coincide, hand in hand. Because the verse before that, what does it say? Hide your face from my sins and blot out my iniquities. So what does that take us to in Jeremiah 31? What did he say he do? I put my laws within you, and your sins and iniquities I will remember no more. So once your sins are forgiven, the next step is for you to get a new mind. And then a renewed ruach within you, or let's make sure it's not shoes. Hey, be quiet, Eugene. Eugene, you want pop? You want pop? Oh, so you don't want a soda?
I want to tell you something.
Oh, you want to tell me something? What you want to tell me?
Why do we want to cry all day? I don't cry and my mom died.
I didn't understand anything you just said.
Then my mommy's baby come out.
Oh, your mommy's baby came out? That baby Ben came out, son.
Real stomach.
Oh, it didn't come out of her stomach, though.
Yeah, dude, like that.
It came out of a place that you have never gone before.
He came out of that too.
Nah, but he's never gone there.
No, he's not. He didn't win. He came forth.
He came forth. He hasn't been there. Now, the word for renew, and we're going to revisit this, is kadash. Y'all know what that means, right? That means to be new, but most importantly, to repair. So you're asking for a new spirit. What did he tell you in Luke? Old wine can't be put in new bottles. You got to put new wine in new bottles. So you're looking for a new spirit. So that's what it is, and that's Kot, Dalet, and Shan. So understand that you'll be separated by the consuming sacrifice in order to be able to get a new ruach, because the old man of sin must be crucified and destroyed. In order for you to get a right ruach within you, let's look what it got for right there in Psalm 51. And that's kun. So you know, an established spirit. Well, when was the spirit established? At the foundation of the world. So you're seeking to get a renewed, established, or firm spirit within you after your heart has been created or formed and fashioned in the image and likeness of the living Alahym. But let's return back to Ezekiel chapter 1. Verse 27. It says, and I saw as the color of amber, as the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins even upward, and from the appearance of his loins even downward. And I saw it as it were the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about, because Yahuwah is a consuming fire. So that's why you see that. And how is he returning? What is he returning with? Fire. As the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain. And he just said, we just read in Revelation that said he had a rainbow with him, right? Was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the esteem of Yahuwah. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake, as every knee is going to bow and every tongue is going to confess. You see that throne, that's what you're going to do. Who going to walk before the throne of a king and not bow themselves? Revelation chapter 4. We about to get to those. I'm trying to make sure we got 2 hours and 14 minutes. So I got to make sure I get that in here before we even slide. Of all three, seraphims, teraphims. We already talked about cherubim. Huh? Yeah, but I'm pressing myself.
You need to be pressed, bro.
Yeah, got to get it done. Got to get her done. That's what the white boy say. Oh, that was right here. Verse 3 of Revelation chapter 4. And he that sat was to look upon like jasper and sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne in sight like unto an emerald. Because what is the rainbow there for? It just said as a bow was in the cloud, that was by this throne. They tell you in Ezekiel the same thing, right? So what the rainbow there for? Covenant. So I'm not going to kill you with water, but I got this fire for you, though. And round about the throne were 24 seats. Upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. Out of the throne proceeded lightnings, thunderings, and voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 ruachs of Alahym. You can go read Isaiah 11 in regards to that.
Would them be the people that went up after he resurrected?
Could be. It's not really much stated on them 24 elders that you could take and say concretely that this is referring to this. You got 70 elders that went up with Aaron and Moses and Ezekiel, Exodus 24. But in regards to them 24 elders with crowns on their head, don't say much. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal. In the midst of the throne, round about the throne, were 4 beasts, full of eyes before and behind. And the first beast was like a lion. Why that a lion? Lion of Judah. Also, the lion is raised up out of his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. Amen. And the second beast like a calf. Why a calf? The heifer. Sprinkling of the unclean. And the third beast had the face as a man. That's self-explanatory. And the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. Why the eagle? It's law for eagle. Yes, up, right back. Found you up on eagle's wings. Deliverance, if you would. Deliverance. The eagle represents deliverance in the framework of the text. And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about him. They were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Kadash, 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 Yahuwah, Alahym, Almighty, which was, which is, and is to come. So that goes back to what we were talking about last week with the I am. I existed before the foundation of the world. I manifested in the flesh, and I shall return to rule. Continuing on. And when those beasts gave esteem and honor and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who lived forever and ever, the 24 elders fell down before him that sat on the throne and worshiped him that lived forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, You are worthy, O Lord, to receive esteem and honor and power, for you have created all things for your pleasure. They are and were created. Those men gave their throne to the king. See, that's acknowledgement of rulership that a lot of us don't really want to do. Let me get you these seraphims real quick, man. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to get the other one.
I just don't remember the Seraphim.
They might have been in Zechariah. Let's go to Isaiah 6 and 1 now, because we already had Isaiah 6. We was on that earlier, man. A little month earlier. Isaiah 6 and 1. Isaiah 61. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. And above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings. With the twain he covered his face, and with the twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly. First and foremost, seraphim. Seraph is meaning serpent, fiery serpent, poisonous serpent, as in what was in Numbers 21. But more specifically in this instant, seraphim, a majestic being with 6 wings, human hands, and voices that attended upon Alahym. So this is probably where the first instance where they get a man with wings. But those are not Malachim, those are seraphims. Those seraphims are in the temple. Because again, they attend unto the throne. And one cried unto another. And that's more than likely what we just looked at in Revelation 4, as those were seraphims. Because you've seen the one in the likeness of a man. Because they're going to say the same thing that you've seen in Revelation. Because it said they don't their whole job is to worship Yahuwah continually. This is what it said. And one cried unto another and said, Kadash, Kadash, Kadash is Yahuwah of hosts. The whole earth is full of his esteem. And the post of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Now let's come over here to Hosea chapter 3. That makes sure with a teraphim.
Wait till it's finished. Go ahead and sit down. Bring him up. Thank you.
Now I tell you in Hosea 3 and 4. That's right. His angels are ministering ruachs as a flame of fire. That's what I tell you in Psalms. Because Alahym is a flame of fire. Do you know what an angel's job is? Do you know what it is? Michael, do you know what why you been standing up all day? You all right? Huh? What? Do you know what an angel's job is?
Mommy.
Callie, do you know what an angel's job is? Yes, their job is to be servants to those who will inherit everlasting salvation. That is their job. They have no other, but they have other purposes, but that is their main purpose. Come over here to the book of Psalms. Get your hand out my screen, boy. I didn't ask you that. Psalms 104. You can pick it up at verse 1. and 1. Bless Yahuwah, O my soul. O Yahuwah, my Alahym, you are very great. You are clothed with honor and majesty, who cover yourself with light as with a garment, who stretch out the heavens like a curtain, who lay the beams of his chambers in the waters, who make the clouds his chariot, who walk upon the wings of the wind, who make his angels ruachs, his ministers a flaming fire. So it lets you know that, right? I think we need to go to Psalms 45. So I just want you to see that they're made of a flaming fire. That's how he made them. Because he made them like unto himself. It's another psalm I need to try to remember where it's at. I think it's Psalm 45. Bird, you over there telling stories?
No, I'm talking to Abba.
I'm talking to Abba. I think you over there telling stories. Why you ain't telling no stories, Bird?
Abba called my name.
Abba called my name. What is your name? Your name is who?
Mariah.
Who told you that?
Oh, my teacher.
Your teacher?
Yeah, Miss Sarah.
I don't know that lady. You know that lady?
Yes.
You know that lady from? Oh, I'm thinking it's a Hebrews 1, man. Hebrews 1. Yeah, that was the cherubims, Saran, that guarded that and Eve. But yes, the Malachim did minister and strengthen Yahushua. Why? Because they're ministers to the heirs of salvation. Yahushua was set to inherit salvation, so of course they're going to serve him. And that's not the only place they served him. They served him in other places also. Hebrews chapter 1. We'll pick it up at verse 6, I suppose. Matter of fact, you could make it 4. We'll just do all of it. Hebrews 1 and 4. Being made so much better than the Malachim, as he have had by inheritance, obtained a more excellent name than they. For unto which of the Malachim said he at any time, you are my son, this day have I begotten you. And again I will be to him an Abba, and he shall be to me a son. And again, when he bringeth the first begotten into the world, he say, let all the Malachim of Alahym worship him. You can see that in Job 38 and 7, I believe. So the morning stars shouted for joy when the foundation was laid. And again, when he bring in at verse 7, and the Malachim, he say, we make his Malachim ruachs and his ministers a flame of fire. But unto the Son, he say, your throne, O Alahym, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of your kingdom. See, he's mentioning this because there's a separation. He said the Malachim were to serve the heirs of salvation, and the Son is to be Alahym and rule on his throne. Remember what Yahushua promised you: if you overcome, you can sit at his right hand as he sit with the Father in his right hand, or you can sit on a throne. So when you're looking at getting a clean heart created in you, it's going back to a conversation we had in the past. It's about having the mind of a king. We'll go back to what we were talking about earlier. Even matter of fact, when I was talking with the brothers earlier, and when I mentioned that, he was like, yeah, that's what the words say, train up a child. Because I'm like, kings and rulers plan out their children's lives for them. And guess what? Ephesians 1 tells you what? That you were preordained. Come on here to Ephesians 1. Oh, your husband called for you? Oh, you got a potty. Your baby pushing on your womb? That's right, Saran, a noble ruach. Remember when we talking about that? Don't take away from me your free ruach, or the mind of a prince, the mind of a king, a mind of a ruler. Ephesians 1 and 4. You can make it 3. Baruch be Alahym, Abba of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who have blessed us with all spiritual blessing in heavenly places in Mashiach, according as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be kadosh and without blame before him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of sons by Yahushua HaMashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will. Drop down to verse 11. He said, whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestinated according to the purpose of him who work all things after the counsel of his own will. So individuals who are the sons and daughters of Alahym, your life already been mapped. He's already mapped that out. And this is what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. Remember what he told them with Paul? He said, let him alone. He's a chosen vessel unto me. Well, I done already told this man life out. This man going to do exactly what I told him to do, or what I planned for him to do. Let me put it that way. Because you know what you told, you got to let kids live their own life. Yeah, that nigga talk. That nigga talk. Nah, I made your life. You're going to live the life I tell you to live. Or you don't get the benefits of what I got to give. See, some people look at it, that's manipulation. Call it what you want. Call it what you want. Because this is what most people feel. They feel that they're entitled to what their parents have even after they're grown. They don't understand that whether they're your parents or not, if you want the benefits that you have to receive, see, everything in life comes with conditions. See, people want you to believe that there's things that are unconditional. That is folly and that is foolishness. Everything comes with conditions. There's absolutely nothing in life that don't come with conditions. And then if you believe that, you're a fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to benefit from, indeed, that is feminine talk. You want an individual, you want to benefit off your parents' wealth and substance, but you wanted it to be unconditional. You can do whatever you want, how you want, when you want. That's not how that works. If you want to benefit from me, you're going to have to meet certain requirements or you're not going to get it. Because guess what? When they were talking about Dr. Dre's daughter, who all you seen? Women. If I was rich, this, that, and the third. Why? Because women are usually enablers. They will enable bad behavior and conduct. Men are structured and orderly. If you are a man in mind, you're not going to enable bad behavior. You're going to cut them off. You're not going to do it. See, women will do it. Women expect to be enabled. And the reason why you expect to be enabled, because guess what? You're supposed to be taken care of. So when you're accustomed to knowing that you're going to be taken care of, you feel like you are owed anything that the person who is providing you has, not understanding that their provision is conditional. If you don't meet the conditions, I'm not providing for you. Because you have not shown yourself worthy of my provision. You're not entitled to my provision by reason of your existence. See, the breath that's in your lungs, that's conditional. Because Yahuwah can remove that at his leisure if you go outside the conditions that he has set. Because he's already told you this. You sin, you die. I take my breath back. Now what? Oh, you think you just supposed to have it? What type of God would do that? Saran said that's what he got from the boy's mom and grandma. They let them grow up and decide if they want to follow you to Yah. And I'm like, no. But see, that's not that. But see, it's really, you can't decide if they're going to follow. Remember, the text say train them up. All you can do is give the instruction. Because at the end of the day, it's always going to be on them if they're going to do it. See, that's one thing we can't do. You can't, because Samuel was a righteous man. His sons was evil. You don't think Samuel hit him off? But them boys was greedy. They were greedy for filthy lucre. So for filthy lucre, they judged for money. They turned their head. So you don't never know, because you don't know what somebody going to desire. You don't know what end up going to be important to your offspring. But you got to set them up to the point of, this is what we do, this is how we do it, this is how we live. So that they understand that it's just not, but again, you have to impart it on just like with that, I forget the Hebrew word for it, but this is our manner of life. You can't instruct it to them like it's a religion or this, that, and the third, or just stress culture, because culture is nothing but a way of life. Just like his son, this is how we live. This is our way of life. This is our manner of life. This is how we conduct life. And to explain it with other people, hey, that's their manner of life. And we just don't live like that. That's how they choose to live. Saran said he told her that too. And if you want to raise them however you feel like and not listen to me, I'll slide and stop paying you, as you should. Because one thing Coach Greg Adams said, which I agree with it 100%, don't negotiate with terrorists. You know what I'm saying? And he was talking about his ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? You see a woman want to act terroristic with a divorce or with them kids, don't negotiate with her, take it to court. At the end of the day, that's what you do. You take it to court. Negotiate with you for what? There's no negotiating with the angry, spiteful woman. You're wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? Better go ahead. She want to go see Mr. Charlie, take it to Mr. Charlie then. You'll be surprised that men win more often which they shouldn't have to fight. Because you hear women be like, you should have fought for your kids. Why did he have to fight in the first place? Why has this become a combative environment for this man to deal with his offspring? Because at the end of the day, those are not the woman's kids. Those are his. That's not your seed. That's his seed. The children belong to the man. They don't belong to the woman. You are an incubator. I hate to tell you that, but you are an incubator. You're a carrier. Your eggs are useless. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Your body sheds eggs that are not used, do they not? Ain't no man shedding no semen that he ain't using. They just stay there. The only way a man's semen leaves his body is through stimulation. That's it. His semen don't get up and say, you know what? We've been in here for 15 years. It's time for us to get out and be made new. No, that's not what happened. Y'all womb is made new every 30 days. So that's not your baby. That's his. And once more men understand that that's your baby, man, don't sit back and let that woman be no terrorist with your baby.
Buddy was saying on just recently, who was down with Dow, he was saying he had 6 girls and a boy from his ex-wife. He was like, the system unfair. That's why he don't believe in marriage, because he took her to court and the judge gave her all the kids.
They usually will. Take that on the chin with you.
Even though he was making enough bread.
Guess what? If that happened, that was Yahuwah's will. Now let me see what you're gonna do now. And this was your response. I don't believe in legal marriage. You ought to sit back and look at why did Yahuwah let this woman get these children? Maybe those children supposed to go to hell. Who knows? Yahuwah knows. You know what I'm saying? Maybe them. Are you content with his will? Because at the end of the day, that was his will. That's right. Like that blood and water stayed like he was pure. And that's no disrespect to no woman. You just got to understand that. Because when you see the text, who he said, unto your who seed. Because the seed belongs to the man. Because who do the fathers, who do all the sons going to go to in the kingdom? They go into the father because the sons belong to the father. The children belong to the father. They don't belong to the mother. Because that's not your seed. You're the carrier of seed. I put it to you this way, just in the simple context of farming. Somebody else can own the land. But if you paid for the seed to farm in that land and that fruit that come up out that ground, you taking the fruit with you. Regardless of who land that is, that's your seed, that's your fruit. That fruit belongs to you. That fruit don't belong to the owner of the land. But that's another conversation. Come on back over here, because that's dealing with the law. All the same. What's that? Oh, he been telling them that.
I know that's the only way they can have more.
No, you can't. You definitely can't. Anyway, Hebrews 1. But see, the thing what I was tripping on with them telling them not to get legally married is y'all supposed to have a whole congregation full of righteous women. So why would this even be a matter that this woman would do you like this? Because I can see if you were making that statement for people in the world, but these supposed to be women of the Lord. Verse 9, Hebrews 1. He said, you have loved righteousness and hated iniquity. Therefore, Alahym, even your Alahym, have anointed you with the oil of gladness above your fellows. And you, Lord, in the beginning have laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of your hands. They shall perish, but you remain. They shall wax old as do a garment, and as a vesture you fold them up. They shall be changed, but you are the same, and your years shall not fail. But to which of the Malachim said he at any time, sit on my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool? Are they not all ministering ruachs, sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation? That's all the Malachim's job is for, is to serve those who inherit everlasting life. That's why they were there to serve Yahushua when he was praying and strengthen him. That's their job. Let's look at this last part with Seraphim and we can get out of here. For the sons of Yasharal shall abide many, this is Hosea 3 and 4. Many days without a king, prince, sacrifice, an image, an ephod, and teraphim. Now, a teraphim is an image. It can be an idol, an image, or something that is used to worship.
That's in the law, right? That's what they define with the phone. That's the teraphim, right?
No, that's something different. Those were sticks. But usually it's a manner of an image. You know what I'm saying? Now, what those images is, we have to deal with that on the backside. But we done ran too long. We'll get to that on Wednesday, you who will. But hallelujah for Yahushua in the world. We're going to start right now. Appreciate y'all time this afternoon. Bless y'all the house of Alahym. We got more to go through because we're taking a different route to deal with creating you a new heart. Yes. And renewing, making a new spirit in you. But just looking at the aspect of the spirit that you get is the spirit of a king. We have to deal with that spirit of a king first, that he's sitting on that throne, and then the manifestation of such. But blessings out the house of Alahym in the name of Yahushua. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. You who are willing. On the next one. Get out my camera. That's what you came over here for. Bye.